Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm back, baby. And I'm here with James Farley,
Hello.
Matt Murray,
I'm back, baby. Since last week.
and Sean Bell.
Hiya.
Hello, Sean. You all right?
I thought about it.
Too
What,
scared.
saying I'm back, baby, too?
Yeah.
Too scared.
If you're nicking jokes off,
I
Matt.
bottled it.
If you're nicking jokes off, Matt, you know you've got problems.
Not
You know
nicking it, I was
you've got...
just joining in.
Yeah, but James didn't lay the foundation. That's
When
the
Matt
problem.
made,
James
when
would
Matt
never lay a
made that
foundation.
joke- when Matt made that joke, I can tell because we're entertainers, right? I
Yeah,
know he's
fact.
offering that up. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
That's in
Entertainers,
terms of
eh?
order. That's how it works. You know, someone sets a
You're
tone, James ignores it, or
You're entertainers, eh? Not according to my feedback notes that we'll get to in a minute. Patreon producers this month are Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights are Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, Richard Sawyer, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Tom S, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Man, Tri-State, and Jack Oven. They're the Full Nails crew, and we thank them so much for their support. They went to patreon.com/TCGS, and you can sign up if you would like to join them. You can sign up there, different tiers. We just released our bonus show, which was absolutely brilliant, I thought, last week. Half of which we were speaking to Mark from Wicked Ink in Sutton, the tattoo studio that either James or Matt will be attending to get their first tattoo.
I mean,
We don't know who
let's
it's going to be yet. We don't know who it's going to be, Sean. There's another week to go. There's
mean,
another week to go.
could be either one of us.
Okay, well,
In a
we'll
way.
don't spoil the outcome of that. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. But yeah, please check out Wicked Ink, the tattoo studio in Sutton. Give them a follow on Instagram and all that stuff. They were on the show this week to talk about tattoos, what he thought was good advice to give to James and Matt to prepare for the tattoo. There was a lot of shaving chat. So if you're into that. Also this week we're doing a talks over of what, James? This is your idea. So what is it?
Well, it's an anniversary of the Dreamcast, and so I thought it'd be quite nice to watch some like Dreamcast related videos. So
Brilliant.
we dug up about an hour's worth, nearly, of not nearly, maybe 50 minutes of a
Doesn't matter.
Dreamcast video. Yeah,
You didn't need to stick on that point.
No.
That's fine.
A
You could've
number
just-
of Dreamcast videos.
well, no,
We
I was
proved
just- I
time
was-
and again we can talk more than the video requires, so that's fine.
It's true, but then I was just thinking. See, as soon as I started saying how long it was, I just thought I'm going to get corrected here. So I thought I'd do the correction myself as I was saying it.
I don't think anyone else has bothered to add it up.
No.
There's like 3 or 4 videos.
I mean, Sean, honestly, I was expecting you to actually say, well, I've added them together, and actually they come to this much.
No chance.
But, yeah.
A few more other points that we need to go to before we start what is going to be quite a heavy episode. There's lots to go through this week. tcgs.co/store for your merch. New supplier, new t-shirts. I've got mine. I love it. Like the OG t-shirt is back, and we've been getting pictures from people that have bought them and sending them in. So please go to tcgs.co/store if you want one of our lovely new t-shirts. I say new, it's the OG one. It's the I always that it's iconic. That's how I describe it. Iconic. All right. There's also James's. James's, what is it called? Realization of a midnight. What is it? Mid-90s dream.
The mid-90s
Realization
dream
of
one,
a
yeah.
mid-90s dream T-shirt. So if you want to have James Farley's face close to your chest, go to tcgs.co/store. Follow us on TikTok, please. We need to hit 1,000 followers to get to start TikTok Live, and that's TCGS Co on TikTok. We're starting to put clips up of the show. We're really going to push that because we want to tap into a new audiences, and apparently
You
that's the way to
worst
do it.
Audience.
Yeah, we're looking for worse listeners.
Yep.
So TCGS Co on TikTok, and finally, thanks to everyone that sponsored me on my Just Giving page. If you go to my Twitter account, it's the pinned tweet at the top there. I'm doing a sponsored walk in aid of Special Effect, which is a charity that I think we all hold dear to our hearts. I'll never forget the first time I saw them at one of the EGXs, showing off technology there. It's absolutely brilliant charity. If you'd like to sponsor me, go to at David Turner's on Twitter and go to my pin tweet, and you can find the link there. We're way off our target, so if you could help us out. But it has been amazing seeing so many people sponsor me on there and putting TCGS in the comments, because it lets all the people that I work know who's been bringing all the money in for the charity, and the answer is me, aka you guys. Thank you very much. That's enough shilling for the that's enough of Chris shilling for the episode. Should we get to my feedback from the past couple of episodes? Two weeks off I've taken. So
Let's hear it.
Just take a couple of minutes, I imagine.
Let's hear it.
Here we go. Right, episode 414. So this was 2 weeks. This
Man,
was
that's a long time ago.
Three-person show, a couple of weeks. I was in Spain. That's weird. So obviously I was in Spain for the first week with the family, and when I come back and I was catching up with my podcast, a lot of those podcasts were downloaded in Spain, so all the adverts are in Spanish, and it's just a little bit off-putting after you've not been there for like a
It's
week.
weird. Well, I'll tell you, I get the opposite, because when I come back here, I'm like, all the adverts are in English suddenly, and it's like, oh, this is really
You're loving
boring.
it. Absolutely. Oh, right. Okay, you prefer the German ones, do you? Right, here we go. His first comment. Sad to see Matt constantly bring up the show is better without David thing. That just makes me feel sad. And after all I've done for him, it's a shame. It's a shame.
I don't remember that.
Oh, you don't remember it, no?
No, I mean,
it's tweets. There was tweets about it. Oh, it's back to the best. Yeah, there's tweets about it. Is there not just part of you just going, oh, maybe I shouldn't be saying that because David got me here?
No, because I think it's funny, and I think never forget. Just never forget.
Basically,
what? No, I appreciate everything you've done for me.
Your career as well.
I appreciate everything you've done for me.
In your main career, I think I've had a big part to play in that.
No, you have, yeah, 100%, yeah. But it's it doesn't mean I have to be like, boss every day.
No, you didn't have to call me boss. Just don't constantly say the show's better without me. That's you got to think about my.
I didn't say that. I think you implied that. I say golden era. It doesn't necessarily mean the best.
I think go back.
Sean.
Go back and listen. Go back and listen. Next comment. Most pointless news story of all time. GTA 6 won't be coming to any subscription services.
Oh my god, yeah.
During that story, James says, I'm looking forward to GTA 6. Really?
Look,
Tell
these
us
are things...
more of this wild opinion, James.
These are things that people need to know. Like, it's important information.
I don't know.
You can tell you're worried about the length of the podcast because you spoke about the Borderlands movie for 20 minutes. A film you haven't seen. A film you haven't seen based on a game you haven't played.
Surely not 20 minutes.
That's how good we are, though.
I didn't time it, actually, but I know it was over 10.
Felt like 20 minutes.
I didn't think it was that long. But yeah.
Oh, James, this one's for you. I searched for a single article saying that the Switch users play in docked mode more than they do handheld, and I can't find it anywhere, James. Plenty saying the opposite, though.
Okay, I mean, you can say that, but I probably have searched for others where it does say that they're in docked mode. So,
I'd love to see them.
I'd love to see the ones that you've come up with. So
okay,
maybe we can,
all right.
Maybe we can exchange.
Granted, the ones that I saw were from 2017. Yeah. However, there are no more updated ones. I'm sorry. I failed, even just like not looking at an article, I failed to believe that people play in docked mode more than handheld mode on the Switch. I just don't. That is such a wild. I think you let that go too easily because James come in with no. I read an article and it was where was the article? Where was the article? Where was the evidence? I think you just said that.
Yeah, but it was a fairly plausible claim. It's not like
you think.
It's not that outlandish.
I reckon people playing handheld way more than docked, don't they?
Well, this is it. I think people have different. Like my Switch mostly stays in the dock.
Okay.
So to me, that's not that weird.
Oh, James he's researching.
I have just researched it. Okay, so this is from Nintendo Life. Okay, did you see this one, David? Where they said back in October 2017.
Is it in your list?
Yeah,
of
that
links,
was it,
David. That was
so
it.
all the reports from 2017. Yeah.
Okay, so Nintendo's own data suggested that 30% of players use the Switch almost exclusively in handheld mode, versus 20% who played in docked mode only, with the remaining 50% who switched between the two.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that doesn't back up that more people play in dock mode than
But
handheld, does it?
but it also doesn't back up that most people play in handheld mode either.
No, but I think you could probably glean from those figures that more people play in handheld mode.
I don't think so, because if you combine the 50% of people who play in between the two, I think
I've got the next comment here is 2-player games that break up friendships. James forgot to mention the PES matches that we used to have that almost ended our relationship. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I do remember
those.
Yeah.
So back before the big FIFA revolution, there was this weird period where PES wasn't brilliant and FIFA was still crap. And people were persisting with. Do you remember the first one on the 360, James? It was dreadful, wasn't it? PES 6, was it?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Anyway, we before FIFA changed things up, you only really played against each other. You couldn't really play on the same sides against random people, matchmaking, anything like that. So we just used to play against each other all the time. And honestly, it's fair to say I was better than you, right, James? Come on, that's fair to say.
You were better than me, that is true.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm better than that. And
No, I'm not. That's we got feedback for that.
I'll get to that, Matt. I'll get to that. And I used to do this thing that used to wind up James so much that he genuinely nearly deleted me off his friends list. And it was when I was like 2 or 3-0 up, I'll go, look, watch, James, I could just, I could be 6-0 up now if I wanted to be. I just didn't want to be. Look, watch what I do now. I'm going to pass to the right, pass to that player over there. I'm going to pass it over and like commentate as I'm playing. And then I would score and go, and just put it in the back of the net there. No? And you used to go, I fucking hate it when you
I remember that, actually.
I hate it. Very nearly ended our relationship, that.
It was bad, yeah.
That reminds me of, do you remember, Dave, we played a bit of, was it Halo 3 co-op?
Yeah, right.
And it was like at the end of a mission, and it was just wrapping up, and you just started going, oh, wouldn't it be good if there was like some sort of screen that just kind of summarised like how well everyone, and then the score thing came up and you were at the top of it.
There was I'll never forget when we were running through. Do you remember when me and Chet were going through every single Halo game back to back?
Oh yeah.
And there was one character in one of the Halos. I can't remember who it was, but he looked like Tom Selleck. And for the next 3 hours of playing that game, all me and Chet were saying to each other was Tommy Sells. Tommy Sells. Tommy Sells. And then our mate Jay joined us and played for about half an hour and just went, I can't hack this. All you're doing, because obviously he hadn't even seen the character. He was like, all you're saying is Tommy Sells over and over again. This is excruciating. I'm not a very good person to play video games with. I'll admit to that. And you lot blaming me for James trying to get you're better than that in as many times as possible. Why can't he just take a week off, you guys said? That was all James's idea. That was James's idea. I had nothing to do. James,
I think we thought, because we saw you saying it in the chat. That's where James had got the idea.
And then James also didn't deny it. So
What happened? James texted me and said, I keep saying it's better than that. How many times should I say it? And it was literally like Charlie coming up to me and saying it. And I just went, I don't know.
Should I read out what the conversation was? Let me see.
Yeah, please read the text, because this is a piss take, frankly.
This is not going to work well for you here, James. You definitely said, how many times should I say it? Here we go. I've got it here.
Oh, here we go. I found it.
Yeah.
Where was it? Yeah, hang on. Right. No, I just wrote, you're better than that. And then I said, now trying to see how many times I can slip it in. And then David said, 20 is the aim. And then I said, I think I'm up to about 5, now 6. And...
And then I moved on, and you just kept putting 8, 9, 10. But Matt's caught on. Absolutely ridiculous, James. I can't believe I took heat for that.
I mean, what was
It's
annoying
a
about
joke.
that, right, is, you see, I should have started doing it right from the start of the
Yes,
show.
that's what we said.
But the trouble is, I only thought of it like 2/3 of the way through.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Right.
much
Well, this one's just mean, actually. Sorry. James said I started Sekiro, but went on holiday and didn't go back to it. Considering how often he's on holiday, it's a wonder here how he ever finishes anything. Right. Moving on to last week's show, episode 415. Yeah, hosting isn't as easy as it looks, is it, James?
It was all right. It's fine.
I beg to differ. My favourite bit is when you went, Sean, what do you think about that? And Sean went, you've seen that I've been away. I don't understand the moment you've come back when
Yeah.
you turn to me in this instance.
that
and
was out of
several
order.
times where I think you just forgot that you were in charge. We went
was that?
quiet for a bit. It was during, there was a few moments during what you've been playing
Yeah.
where someone would finish talking and you wouldn't say anything. And Sean just sort of went, okay, so yeah, I also think this about the cows. Like, James, that was the perfect moment to go,
remember that.
right, no, I remember it, I listened to
Okay,
it.
okay.
He zoned out, I think.
James saying he enjoyed Stellar Blade for the combat is like when people say they read Playboy for the articles.
I did enjoy it for the combat. It was great.
All right, cool. Sarah saying there are no rentable sports. Sorry, Sarah, but this was bad. Sarah saying there are no rentable sports halls in South London is insane. There are about 1 million of them. I
did think that was odd, but obviously
Yeah.
I don't live there, so
They're everywhere. I can only assume that Sarah's not been to many, 4-year-old birthday parties
Yeah.
where a shit Spider-Man comes in halfway through and you're looking around going, I wonder how much this costs. Maybe we can rent this one and do a better job of it. Been to too many of those things. Oh, and I just wanted to answer one of the questions. My ideal meal deal makeup. What a weird week for that question to be asked. They've upped the fucking price again.
have they?
Oh,
Who has?
Tesco.
Oh, Tesco.
£4 now. £4. Anyway,
Is that with a club card or without?
No, with a club card, it's £360, Matthew.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
I did see
but
they've also
still.
got premium meal deals now as well at Tesco. I've not seen that.
Oh yeah,
before.
they've had them for a while. You've just been away, haven't you? You've been
Yeah.
in Germany. So anyway, it's deli meat sub, prawn cocktail McCoys, and a Pepsi Max. That's the answer, and that's my feedback
Strong.
this week. Yeah.
Do you know what I
cheers,
thought
man.
the other day?
Oh, yeah. No, go on.
James's sign off at the end of the episode.
What was it? Thanks for getting through
Thanks
it.
for getting through this. Now, I'm not going to say what it is, but it did occur to me the other day that he could have, without flagging up that this was what it was, he could have said what he said on the bus as his sign off.
Oh,
How funny would that have been?
Oh,
just-
yeah. Oh, that would have been great.
Just
I
hiding
didn't
in
know,
plain sight.
so, yeah.
Yeah, doing a Matt Muzzer. Right, are we ready for the rest
I
of the
didn't do
feedback,
on a podcast, so it's a little bit.
Matt? No, but you did immediately tweet it after you told it. Absolutely shocking.
Clever. Clever.
It's so clever that why did you delete it?
Just in case someone picked up on it. Actually, it's supposed to be a feedback. Well, we'll just get into it. Kurt Lewin. James doing forward rolls as a kid. I wanted to ask James whether when he scored a goal in football growing up, whether he did a Robbie Keane style football roll and lunch the air celebration. If not, punch the air celebration. If not, he should have. Cheers. Can you do a forward roll, David?
I don't know if I could do one now. I guess so. I thought that bit of the show was absolutely incredible.
See, after the show, the next day, I was in the woods with Chen, like close to where I live.
Okay. Okay, we're just gonna leave that. Move on. Yeah.
And I said to her, like, I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to have a go.
What?
Woods?
Give what a roll? A go.
The roll, the forward
Okay,
roll.
forward roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I'm going to give it a go, and I was looking for some green space to do it on, but she wouldn't let me because she was
Right.
worried I was going to hurt
You
myself.
do know what we're doing at the next live show. You're going to
What?
walk onto the stage and do a forward roll. Like, that is going to happen.
Instantly break his neck.
Yeah, we're going to put like a mat out, and like
Yeah.
one of those thin mats that you used to get in PE.
Tell me
and you're
about
going
it.
to do a forward roll in front of everyone. That's happening. That's happening. It's that sounds like he's not going to show up for the next live show.
Yeah. Oh no, there's a holiday booked. I couldn't possibly be there now.
Can't make that, sorry.
James, when you scored a goal when you were in year 6, what celebration did you do?
I don't remember. I mean, I did used to enjoy it. Like, if I was playing on the field, then I used to do the whole like,
Why you describe things?
no, no, because like
As
sometimes,
opposed to the playground.
yeah, as opposed to the playground, I would have done the sliding.
So
on
if
my
you do,
knees.
if you're playing an away match, it'll be a slide on the knees. A home
Yeah.
game, it would be like respectful, like shh to the crowd. What would it be?
Yeah, I mean, if
Slide on
it
your
had
knees in
been
the field, are you mad? My parents would have killed me.
Really?
Those trousers had to last 2 years. I wasn't getting away with that.
Well, what if it is summer and James' little knees are out? That might be alright.
well, that was true, and also the school that I went to, there wasn't school uniform like for quite a long
what?
time.
What?
What kind of school did you go to?
I
Oh,
don't know.
I guess this was the 40s, so maybe so rations. I don't know.
Afford them. Rations.
But no school uniform.
There was
Yeah,
no school
that's
uniform. No. It
So what
was,
do you wear?
Just like clothes.
Sega
you know, just
t-shirts.
like-
Nirvana
Full
t-shirt.
tux.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking primary school here. Like it was, primary school. Yeah, there was no
No school uniform.
There was
That
no
is
school
bizarre.
uniform. No.
All
We had
right,
school uniform when I grew up in Bognor Regis.
Yeah.
I used to do the no celebration, like just run back to my goal and just give someone a high five on the way back, all serious, like as if I've scored so many that there's no point.
Yes,
in
it's
even
beyond me.
celebrating, mate.
Jaded, if anything.
But I did.
Another one.
I'd score one like a month. You bounce off my head. Right, what's the next bit of feedback, please, Matt?
Jason Carving Knife has messaged.
Oh yeah.
If you told me 2 weeks ago that I had to place a bet on the funniest ever James Vardy audio glitch, I'd have put my life savings on his disastrous attempt to connect from a hotel, and then I lost it all when Cyborg James Farley showed up in last week's show. An absolute masterpiece, lads. Well done.
My favourite response to last week's show was someone saying, "How is James's audio worse this week than it was for the piano hotel episode?"
Because the internet in this house is worse than what I
Mate,
was then.
Do you not understand what the internet does? It's wild.
No,
Last week it was
no.
insane.
Listen, you don't understand because I looked this up. It's all connected with latency as well. And the thing
Right.
is I'm using exactly the same setup that I had when I was in the place in Austria. Right? It's just
Yeah.
that there the connection was significantly
4
more
years ago, wasn't
stable.
it? Right. But the glitches we were getting, audio and the lag with your that had nothing to do with the internet. Because
Okay, so
we've
what's
had
the cause
audio
then?
glitches like that.
Circuitry?
Yeah, audio glitches like that are usually due to loose cables. Also, why would it be the internet with perfect visuals, but just your voice just like later by about 5
I
seconds?
don't know.
Why
It happens to you sometimes. Why does it happen to you?
does it?
Not really.
Yeah,
sure.
we've had you going robotic before.
It's lying, isn't it?
Not
Yeah,
nowhere
I mean, I
near.
can't remember the last time, but
No,
maybe the odd occasion.
it's just making stuff up.
James, all the
I'm not
time.
making fuck off. At some point in the past, David has definitely gone robotic when we've
Yeah, I
done
know. It
stuff.
was because I had a dodgy cable.
Yeah.
So I had to unplug it and replug it back in, if you remember correctly.
Okay, look, whatever. I don't care.
The funniest thing
Oh,
about
he
that,
doesn't care. We're at
he
the...
doesn't care. The funniest thing about it for me was like, it went robotic, but it was like the laughter, which was both delayed and robotic. I think that for me was the best bit. It wasn't just a standard robotic; it was just the laughing in it.
Presumably,
Very.
you've worked on your audio setup for this week to correct last week's problem.
Oh yeah,
right?
I've done so much work on like improving it. I've got new cables. I spent tons of money on new USB cables, to plug it in to make sure there's no problems at all. So yeah, it's
Tons
all
of
going to be
money.
good.
What?
Sounds like
10?
you're being sarcastic there, James.
Is that sarcasm?
Spad87 in the chat. Chris says, were the glitches on James's local recording? Yes, they were. So,
Oh, that's weird.
Oh,
So the
okay, so then
internet
that does
Oh, that's
that does
interesting.
indicate
between-
that was
shit. Fuck.
yeah.
the
Thank you,
internet
Detective
between
Span.
the microphone
That
and
does-
the-
Interesting
that does blow
development.
out my
James, thoughts?
that does blow
blow out
away
your what,
my
sorry?
my claims. So
Okay.
yeah.
Right. Do you want my theory as to why you're blaming the internet? Can I put
Go
my
on.
theory forward, or are you
Go
going
on,
to
go on,
get
just
really
go on,
angry
get on
and
with it, go
serious with me? Right. I think you were blaming the internet because then we couldn't have a go at you about it because it is out of your control.
No,
If
seriously,
it's
that
a
is
dodgy
not,
cable, it's your fault. But if it's the internet, it's your mum and dad's.
Yeah,
that
Mum
is
and
not
Dad's
the
fault.
reason. That is
Look,
seriously
then
not the
why are
reason.
you smiling? Then why are you giggling when you say it's not the reason? Why have you got a big grin on your face, James?
Because it's not the reason. Because I literally don't know why it is. Honestly,
Okay.
it,
Having a little cheeky smile and a laugh to yourself there because
Yeah.
I've nailed it. The old hammer on the head of the nail there, haven't I? But
yeah, sure, yeah.
Fucking, I wonder where you're going with that. Okay. Move on. Coley, trans rights are human rights, James. I think you mean human rights, mate. Yeah, I quite like that at the beginning.
How much more of this have we got? Come on.
This is only the third one.
Another couple.
It's only the third one.
When you're the host, this is the sort of reaction you get, man. When you're the main guy, yeah, you're gonna get some heat.
All right,
Don't
James
do
is
that
pissed
on the
off.
Why do you think I didn't want to do it last week, James?
James unable to mute himself by cracking open a cold tinny. Right. Garrison Savannah. I don't usually catch the live stream of the pod on Mondays these days, since it's one of the evenings I force myself to do some exercise to stop diabetes from murdering me. So I feel privileged that I managed to catch it last week, and it was an absolutely sublime episode. Sarah was superb guest as usual. The cascade of technical issues from James were hilarious, and David's cameo were perfectly timed. James's unique hosting style and unintentional hilarity almost makes up for his 50% appearance rate. The chat on the pod was great as always, but I'm so glad I made it for a live stream for this one. It was a classic. You guys are awesome. The pod is a highlight I look forward to every week. Looking forward to the next time James hosts and or has a technical disaster.
See, there you go. Positive one.
Yeah.
Okay, we move on.
James, don't just shut down.
No, I'm not
Come on,
shutting down. I
you're
mean,
still
what
on
do I
the
say to
pod.
that? It's like it's great. Yeah, I mean,
Start with
yeah.
thanks.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, really appreciate the kind words from the fans.
I appreciate the sort of sideways praise or something. I don't know what that was. Go on, just continue.
Sideways praise, episode
Yeah.
title, please, mate. Can you write that one down?
Major PDD, intro and outro, excellent. Love you guys. And they were.
Yeah, do you want to explain that, Sean? Because you sent it to me the night before and said it's not too late to have this as the intro and outro, and I went, I don't think I responded because I think I
You
was
didn't
already
actually
in
say. I
bed.
think you like laughed.
Oh, I sort of laughed because I just thought, well, yeah, we're not going to do that though, are we? And then I listened the next day. I was like, we are.
So what made me laugh was So friend of the show, Chris Span, sent it over, and he wasn't like, oh, put this in the show or anything. He just did it just because he thought it was funny, and then sent it to me. And it was funny. So yeah, I was like, I haven't uploaded the well, cause this is what was funny. So I was like, oh, I haven't uploaded the show to Podbean yet. So then I went and did the edit, and then I saw that Matt had very kindly done it for me. So then I just did the old Indiana Jones, swap the files.
Oh, right, okay.
When Matt listens to this in the morning, I think, oh, fuck, what have I done?
I didn't realise you'd done that. Yeah, I saw it. I was like, okay, I'll upload it. But great work. Yeah, it was very funny.
Did you like your theme tune?
I was totally fine with it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got so many like facts in it.
Yeah, it's just fact after fact after fact, isn't it?
Yeah. Mostly accurate as well, which
Yeah.
I was quite pleased about. Yeah.
Good. All right.
Okay, I should have read this one before, but I didn't. And Mickey the Fridge, hi chaps, great show as always last week. I particularly enjoyed the new theme tune. I've been singing it all week. I was wondering if there's a call out to play a song in public places, much like the Fantasy Zone jingle. If so, can we get an MP3 from Mickey the Fridge?
Yeah, let's
see
see
why
if
not.
we
Work
can
on-
get that into a laser quest.
Should work on the album, really.
Discord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Discord or an album. Get on Spotify.
Yeah, Chris did say like, what does it cost to get a vinyl pressed these days?
Oh,
So
that'd
I
be
think
great.
someone in
wouldn't
the Discord said like, between this and the Fantasy Zone thing, can we get like a James Farley EP?
it? I think we absolutely can. Jackie Sniper highlighted some feedback from last week, from a few weeks back, in fact. I think it was
Someone just put
Sean.
in the chat ringtones.
Hey, so Jace, what year is this?
Imagine that.
It's
It's
the
like
late
ringtone
90s.
coming on and like hurrying to answer it before it gets to the massive cockpit.
I was thinking about those phones and the stuff that you used to buy for them. Did you, Matt? I bet you would have done this. You had the Nokias, and it had like O2. It was like a band of pixels on
Yeah,
the screen.
you
that
could
had,
modify
like,
that, couldn't you? Or
You could modify
yeah.
it, couldn't you? I downloaded some software and did my own and everything. I was obsessed.
I don't know if I
changing
did that. Well, I don't think I had a computer in the house at the time, so I don't think I did
Pay
that.
£3 for it to say animal.
Oh yeah, sick. No fear.
I used to do
funny
that.
that,
It was with a serial cable like across the thing. It
That's
was,
right,
it was terrible.
Yeah, like the fact that like not only did we like people used to pay for ringtones, but now like pretty much everyone just has their phone on silent. It's not even like, oh, well, I'll just use a standard ringtone on my phone. It's like, no one wants a ringtone anymore.
It is actually quite mad now if you hear a ringtone in public. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's,
Wow.
Yeah.
Who do you
Yeah,
think
it's
you are?
fucking bizarre.
Who the fuck do you think you are, mate?
We used to have a technician that used to come into the office every, couple of months or whatever, and he had a ringtone on, and it used to go, "Hey, pick up telephone," And I was just
Oh
like,
God, yeah.
you're in an office that you don't like. You're an outside. What are you
You're a
doing?
guest.
What are you doing? God.
Jackie Sniper, yeah. I think I might have started this already. Anyway, hi lads. Some feedback from a few weeks back. I think it was Sean who alluded to a potential Radiohead bonus show. Please make this happen. Name your price and I'll send you away on Patreon if you'd like to, obviously, but seriously, take my money. P.S. The whole Farley's Realization Mid-90s Dream t-shirt debacle has been put to bed. Read a copyright lawsuit. Finally able to get one of these for my missus. She probably use it as a pajama top, but on the plus side, I get to wake up to the dirty doc himself. Cheers from Jackie Sniper.
See, many uses that t-shirt.
Yeah.
Love that.
What was I can't remember what the idea was for the Radiohead show now. What did we say?
Well, I think it was talking about like best songs, worst songs,
Okay.
memories. Yeah, it'd be particularly, wanky one, but
I was gonna say, yeah.
I'll be up for it.
I mean, if Jackie Sniper wants to pay for it, I'm not saying no.
And Jackie and only Jackie. Yeah. Mocktail Soup has messaged, evening lads. I wanted to give some thanks to Dave and James specifically for doing Dark Calls. I just beat the Capra Demon on my third try in a Magic Pixel and a health bar / next hit wins battle for the ages. Having that pod to listen to is essentially what prompted me to play Dark Souls 1 as I'd already platinum Bloodborne and Elden Ring. Probably won't get the plat on this, but I think I said that about the other games too. Screw his dogs from Mocktail Soup.
Nice.
Yeah,
Obviously,
nice
also it was for me. It was Bonfireside Chat going through an area and then listening to their episode on that area was absolutely brilliant. Like that, I loved playing through that. It's a shame that I haven't clicked with any other Souls game since. Really, not to the level that I did with Dark Souls. I remember I was so obsessed with it. Like I did that thing. I don't know if you did it, Sean, where you could download the full map on the PC and just like zoom out and look out and go, God, I know this place like the back of my hand now. It's wild.
And like it was cool from a technical perspective, but also just being like, oh yeah, it is all one place. Like
apart from one, I think there's one split, isn't there? And I think that's I think it's the library. Is it the towards the end? I think you need to warp there, if I remember correctly. I can't remember, but and of course, that opening bit. But yeah, for the most part, it's incredible. Like how it's all linked together.
I think, and I love the fact that like with Dark Souls 1, like when someone says, "Oh, I've just beaten Capra Demon for the first time," even though the game is old as hell at this point, and I've heard that 1,000 times, I'm still just like, "Oh, right on, mate, well done." Like, do you know what I mean? It's not just like,
for that one.
So what? We've all beaten the Capra Demon. It's like, no, it's fucking hard. Well done.
Oh, do you remember those people that used to go? They're
a regular enemy at some point.
Technically a boss.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Oh, that's the one. Wasn't even technically a boss. Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Got a big health bar. Shut up.
Yeah.
Colin Brown. Feedback. Hi guys, hope you're all well. First time writing in under my real name. I have 2 pieces of feedback for the show. The first is I want to say James did an excellent job last week of taking the reins and hosting. He did a great job and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you. That's really nice to hear. Yeah.
There you go.
Cool, he's getting good now. Second is not particularly pertinent to last week's show. However, I just wanted to thank Sean. I got diagnosed with ADHD this week at the age of 42. Hey. I want to thank him because his candid talking about the condition in the past really helped me build up the courage to get assessed. It feels like now I have an answer to why I felt like this for my entire life. So thank you, Sean. You've helped me, and I'm sure others, to seek help at a relatively late stage in life. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Cheers for being a highlight of my week. From Colin.
Oh, nice. It's really nice to hear, man. Never too late. It's really easy to sort of think, well, I'm old now, so what's the point? Loads of point. Definitely, don't put it off. I mean, and well done just on getting seen in the first place, because apparently it takes about 3 fucking years to get an appointment now.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Is it bad of me to read all that nice stuff and fixate on the fact that Colin said it's the first time writing in under their real name?
I thought that was
I'm like, okay.
Oh, how many of those have we ignored? Like, if you are a Full Nels patron, please do use your real name, because we will feel like we have to read it out.
Don't say that. It's like the old super chat on Arsenal Fan TV. You not know this? No. When they do their live streams, you can pay to get a super chat
Right.
And they read them all out, and
see.
sometimes it's just horrible abuse to one of the other people on the video. We've got to read it. It's a super chat. Sorry, that's not many people care. Right, next bit of feedback.
Austin Clark, cool moves. Last week, Matt asked his closest friends to remind him of his cool moves, and they all laughed. Yet, clearly, Matt has rhythm because he beat Sekiro. He can also skateboard, well, barely snowboard, and he has the temper of an athlete because he never gets angry. Combined, all of these hallmarks are of a very cool dancer. I say this as a dance choreographer myself. So to demonstrate his cool moves, I suggest the next time you all meet, he could put these on display during a DDR session. Alternatively, he could groove to the Wipeout soundtrack one of your listeners mentioned last week. Love the show, by the way.
I just had an image of Matt on stage with a full DDR unit going crazy. You know, one of those ones that holds the back of the bar when they're doing it. You know,
yes,
and then just James Farley doing roly polies around.
Cool, yeah. I mean, I'll be up for that.
It's funny how, we talk about like, people can type whatever name they want in our feedback form. Please don't abuse it. But like, just casually dropping in that they're a dance choreographer. Matt is now going to go away from tonight and be like, a dance choreographer said, based on reliable information, that I am a really good dancer.
Yeah. I mean,
technically true.
Yeah. I do bloody love dancing, and I had a dance mat at uni, and so yeah, I think I'm basically halfway there.
Matt, that's not.
No, I'm basically
I'm basically
there.
No, I have a really good dance. I had a dance mat at uni. That was the case. Fucking half the country.
I do fucking love dancing.
Very important to me.
Yeah, I do love dancing. Hell yeah. I'm just not very good, but it is
when
fun.
the up arrow comes up, I go move my foot forward, and then when the down arrow comes up. How far are you away, Matt, from getting a call up to Strictly? Because I would watch that. I would watch.
Well, I need to be a celebrity first, so that's a
tick. Don't put yourself
okay. Yeah,
down.
done.
We are celebs.
Oh, maybe I'll apply. Maybe I'll apply for
it. I did. This is embarrassing. I did go to when we were down in Margate this weekend. They had a this was in Herne Bay. They had this like mini Comic-Con and retro gaming thing in this place in Herne Bay.
I saw the photos. Yeah.
I wanted to, I didn't realise that was on, and I would have gone to that because that
you wouldn't have gone. You would have been
so?
right. So the mini Comic-Con was the size of a front room with 3 people in there and 3 tables.
Well, I just say mini.
Yeah, it was free entry. And the retro gaming thing was 3 cabinets, one of which was a 3D environment, which was based in a Herne Bay arcade, just a recreation of that. And you just walk around and press a button, and the author says what they think of it, which was great, right? Look, I'm not taking the piss. Like, it was actually nice to go to. But there was part of me going, do you not know who's in your mini Comic-Con right now? Do you not understand
genuine
who
celeb
I am?
is here.
And so I'm going to Instagram. Yeah, go on.
I went to a good one today, actually. I went to it was the Micro Museum in Ramsgate, and it was actually pretty good. Have you been there, David?
I've not actually. What's the Micro Museum? I want to go there next time then, because we're down that way all the time.
So basically, it's like it's a husband and wife sort of like effort of like they've like got sort of a shop which they converted into kind of a museum where they've got basically all the stuff that they had, and obviously they picked things up over the years. It's all out on display, but you can play everything as well, which is pretty cool.
Right.
And so it's all like it's really wild actually to walk through, because there's so much stuff that I recognise from like when I was growing up, like all things like they had like a little professor, those like, do you remember those like the thing for
they were having an argument.
No, you remember the thing? It was like a calculator that taught you how to do like maths and stuff.
This is really going to sound like I'm making this up because I'm feeling left out. This week, I went to the Northwest Computer Museum, which sounds very similar, and also had a little professor.
Yeah, it's amazing though. It had like all the different versions of Spectrums and all that kind of thing. Also, Mega Drives. I tell you what though, it's the first time for years that I've picked up like a Mega Drive pad. That was a bad pad. Like if you
dreadful pad. Yeah.
If you compare it to like the Super NES pad, it was bad.
SNES.
Like it's not comfortable at all. Like to hold. But no, it's great. I would definitely recommend going there. It was really interesting.
Okay, I will put that on the list of things to do because it's absolutely pissing down Saturday, and I went to my parents. I'd rather have gone to this thing. Next,
Steve Lee, in your latest show, episode 415, you recently discussed the challenges of operating your VR in small spaces. And Shaw mentioned not having a warehouse to do it in. I thought I'd point out that having one isn't all it's cracked up to be. I'm a warehouse manager and found that going into work early was a great opportunity to make use of the expansive space and engage in a spot of early morning gaming. I'd got into workout games and following a fairly heavy workout session, took off my VR headset to find a couple of delivery workers stood in front of me with very puzzled looks on their faces, along with one of my team who had caught most of the footage on their mobile phone to share across the business. I decided to stick to stubbing my toe at a coffee table.
Oh God, that is an actual real nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is that's horrible.
Yeah.
That moment, that just having that feeling of taking the headset off and then seeing people there. Ugh.
Because
Yeah,
obviously, because you're
different nightmare.
doing whatever in VR, and whether it's Beat Saber or whatever
Porn.
like something like that. But obviously in real life, all everyone's seen is you just going like.
Yeah, and then Beat Saber's even worse.
There it is. There's the Matt Murray I know I love. Last bit of feedback.
Conky Donker has messaged. I had to say goodbye. Oh, I shouldn't start with a humour because it's actually quite a sad message.
Oh yeah, it's a bit of a transition.
Fucking hell. Okay, I should have. Okay. Conky Donker.
Sorry, Conky Donker. Honestly, I'm so sorry.
This should have been earlier on in the running order. I do apologise. Okay.
Oh, terrible.
What sandwich between other funny
I
stuff?
don't know. Anyway,
Well, it
Conky
makes sense
Donker.
to put it at the end.
I had to say goodbye to my grandma yesterday and had a long drive there and back by myself. Really helped having a pod and a patron to show to fill the time and keep me laughing. Wanted to say thanks and just let you know how much the show can matter sometimes. Keep it up, lads. Lots of love, Conky Donker.
Cheers, Conky Donker.
Yeah, sorry to
hope
hear about
everything's going as well as it can, man. Shit times and all that. We hope you're doing all right. We hope
I've never
you're
had
doing...
to do the like long travel to a funeral, but it sounds like the most miserable
Well,
experience. Like,
I did that last week. That's why I
Oh, yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
on the show last
was
week.
it any good?
Well, I mean, I was focusing on my nieces who were very upset, and one of the things I did was when we joined the drive to the crematorium and you're
Right.
behind the hearse and everything.
Oh, God, yeah.
I said, "Shall I put some music on?" And they went, "Yeah, okay." And I played
And
one
what
of
came
by
on?
Spice Girls because I thought it would cheer them up, and it did, to be fair. And then we were doing things like when we were at the buffet and the wake, I was saying that there's individually wrapped cookies at the end of the buffet. Let's try and get as many as we can. We were like filling up bags, and I had loads in my suit pockets and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it is shit. It is shit. Obviously, dealing with that sort of stuff, you never wrap your head around shit like that, and you never know what to do or what to say. So the fact that we were the background of your drive is quite humbling, and thanks for letting us know. Cool.
Nice.
All right.
That's it for feedback. Go to tcgs.co/deartcgs. Leave your feedback.
Blimey, we got a hell of a lot of news to go through. A hell of a lot of news, and who better to direct us through the wonderful world of video game news but James Farley, the news hound, no less.
Oh,
James.
Yeah, it was
Demoted from host this week. Got a demotion. Go on then.
It was Gamescom last week, and
It was, wasn't it?
yeah, and they had like an opening night that was on that I was going to try and stream with you, David, but it didn't happen, and yeah, for reasons. But yeah, it wasn't very good. That's all
Was it not?
I don't think it was
opening night
very
to the
good.
facts, James.
Yeah. So this was we were going to stream it, weren't we? But then you were worried that because of all the problems that you had with the podcast the night
I didn't
before,
want to take the risk.
you didn't want to take the risk. So, I'm also glad we didn't stream it because it was about 4 hours long, wasn't it?
It was ridiculous. It was another one of those Jeff Keighley things which could have been half the length than it was, and it was ridiculous. It went on for so long. And it was funny because at the beginning I started thinking I'm going to tweet things about this as it's going on.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought it had been hacked.
Then I got
That was
bored.
fuming.
I was like, what is this shit?
I got bored quite quickly, and then also realised that it was all just going to be mean-spirited stuff anyway. And I thought, I don't think people want that.
Does he not understand that surely engagement goes down the longer these things go on? Does he not realise that maybe a more condensed thing is?
No one wants it this long anyway. It's like, come on.
It's not about that. It's like it's as long as he can keep charging to show stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the
Publishers
that's the
are
thing.
figuring out
Right.
that engagement's going down.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely
that's why
right.
Jeff likes it being that length. It's
Right. But there was a couple of interesting things to come out of it. So, what have you selected for us to discuss, James Farley?
I mean, there was a whole bunch of stuff. Like, there was quite a lot of stuff revealed. I mean, the stuff that I found interesting. I mean, the thing that actually surprised me that I found really interesting was the Black Ops 6 reveal.
Looks good, doesn't it?
I thought it looked really good.
I
It looked really
it
interesting.
looks alright.
I missed the first sort of 20, 30 minutes or something. So.
Well, considering the recent Call of Duty games has just been so poor. Like, they've been so poor in terms of first-player combat. That last one last year was a fucking joke, where it just dropped you in multiplayer maps and went, there you go, there are people like, I gave up. I don't understand why they try and do stealth. It's not what you play Call of Duty for. I hate it. You know, I hate that stuff. So this just seemed like an all-out action game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I thought it looked great.
I mean, this showed a stealth section, but yeah.
Did it really?
Well,
missed that.
yeah, but it was
Fuck.
it was picking up from, like, from the last Black Ops. I think it was same characters, that kind of thing. I thought it looked really interesting and exciting.
Yeah, I want these to be good because I think I think most of us like used to play these around Christmas time. It's like good fun 4 to 6 hour romp. And last year I just haven't bothered because I've heard those weren't very good. But I would love people saying, this is actually a great single player COD campaign. I'll be well up for that.
Well, and it's on Game Pass, so if you've got Game Pass, it's gonna be covered by that if you're on the right tier. But what's really interesting is that, or what I really like about this year's one is that usually what happens, the game comes out and maybe 2 of us of our group will buy it, like usually me and Chris, and we'll play it and go, I wish we had a big group of us to play this. Just even if it's like a month of just hammering a bit of Call of Duty or whatever, that'd do it for us. And then this time there's no excuses. We can all just jump on it and have fun for a month and then ditch it. So I'm quite looking forward to going through that. It should be good.
I mean, the next thing that caught my eye was the was Reanimal, which is this is from Tarsier, who did the first 2 Little Nightmares games, which I really liked. I really like those games, and I was surprised that nobody ever seems to talk about them that much. Because
it's an interesting situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because my understanding is, Tarsier got bought, I think, as part of a deal. I can't remember who bought them, but it was Bandai Namco published the first 2 Little Nightmares, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Tarsier got bought, but then the deal didn't include the Little Nightmares IP.
Oh, they were bought by Embracer Group.
It was Embracer one. Well, thank goodness for that. They're in safe hands. And so basically they're now making this game Reanimal, which is very clearly Little Nightmares 3.
But this is what's strange, because I'd heard that they didn't want to do another Little Nightmares as well.
I don't know. I'm not sure what they actually wanted to do. But so the only reason it's not, as far as I'm aware, the only reason this isn't called Little Nightmares 3 is because they don't have the IP anymore. But there is also a Little Nightmares 3, which looks worse.
It does look worse, but I mean, there's reasons for that. I mean, it's because that's coming out on Switch as well, whereas Reanimal is not. So, only, but it does because this is what was weird, because I'd heard that they didn't want to do Little Nightmares 3, and that's why I thought this was weird, because I looked at this and was like, you've basically made Little Nightmares 3 here with this, but it looks great. I mean, I think it looks it looks really...
I mean, it looked terrifying. I'll never play it, but it did look amazing.
But that's pretty good. What else? I mean, Civilization 7, obviously, but there's a weird new aspect to this which I'm not sure about.
Go on.
Well, no, the thing that's strange about it is because one of the things I've always enjoyed about the Civ games is the fact that you're taking like a civilization from like ancient times to modern times and into the future. Like, that's the whole point of the game. Whereas with this, they're not doing that. They're changing it so that you play a Civ through an era, and then once you get to the end of that era, you then shift to another Civ that you have to choose. Like you move on to another one, which is for that era. And so the whole point is that, for example, like if you go from, say, like if you start with Rome, then you think, okay, maybe then in the next era I will then shift to like a European nation instead. Because there's like a through link, between those. But it's a bit strange. I'm not really sure I'm entirely digging the idea, to be honest with you. It's a bit odd, but but either way, it still looks pretty good, and it's coming out in February next year, also on Switch, which I find really bizarre, considering like Civ 6 didn't run terribly well on that machine, and I can't imagine what this is going to be like. But that was.
I think if you're playing Civ on Switch, you need to sort yourself out.
Have they confirmed when it's out next year?
Yeah, it's February 11th.
I was going to say, I thought maybe it'd be like a Switch 2 thing, but
no, I don't think so. Yeah, so we had that. There's a Starfield story announcement thing. Shattered Space.
It's quite funny. Yeah, the new Starfield stuff is like, oh yeah, it's all set on one planet, and it's like back to basics. Yeah, I don't know.
Did
it's funny.
Did they say what if it was going to be included with Game Pass or?
I don't think it is it? Because this, I assume this is what we got for buying that stupid.
I see the upgrade thing. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! So that means I'll have it as well if I want to play it.
If you want to play it.
I think while we're sticking with Xbox, and I think this is a good example of it. I saw there's a lot of Xbox marketing around Gamescom, and I saw a lot of Phil Spencer out there, and it was weird how he seems to be relegated to spokesperson again for a company rather than heading. That's the general tone of what he was talking about. It sort of gave the impression that maybe he wasn't steering the ship as
he's not in control
forcefully
anymore.
as he used to. But what was really interesting was hearing him talk about this, and he was like, I am so excited for those vehicles in Starfield, and I was like, I don't know if I believe it anymore. I don't know if I believe it anymore, and that's the sad thing.
Oh, we got more of that to come, so we'll come to that in a little bit. But anyway, So, I mean, the next thing that caught my eye was the stuff that Prime Video are doing, which is this secret level, which is this.
Interesting.
Yeah,
potentially.
So it's like an animated anthology series where they're doing like original stories that are set in like video game universes. So there's like going to be 15 episodes. And it includes there'll be episodes based on Armored Core, Concord.
You're right. You're getting emotional, James. You're getting you're getting a bit emotional. Say that again.
Armored Core.
Armored Core. Okay, that's interesting.
Armored Core Concord, which I thought
that'll be cancelled.
That's ridiculous.
That's not.
Sony have massively paid for that. Like, please just make something about Concord because no one's playing it.
Then you got Crossfire, Dungeons and Dragons, Exodus, Honor of Kings, Mega Man. So that's that's one of them. Also Pac-Man, but also Sifu, Spelunky, Outer Worlds, Unreal Tournament. There's a lot. There's a lot here.
Yeah, but there's nothing's jumping out like, oh god, I'm up for that. I think they peaked with.
I mean, obviously, I'm buzzing
Armored
about
Core,
Armored Core, but
Sifu could be good.
Sifu could be good. I think it kind of makes sense that this is a whole a lot of games that are never going to get a series of their own, right?
But celebrated. So the team was it Love and Robots?
Alternatively, Matt, slinging shit at the wall and seeing which sticks, which I think sounds more like what they're doing here.
So is it the same team from, was it Love and Robots? I never saw that series either on
Love, Death
Netflix.
and Robots.
Love, Death and Robots.
I watched a bit of the first season. It didn't grab me at all, to be honest. Felt a bit like, hey guys, it's like cartoons but for grown-ups, yeah? Because
edgy.
People dying and tits and that. Yeah, big time.
Good grief.
So I didn't really get on with it, but yeah, obviously I think the Armored Core stuff looks cool.
Yeah, it's a nice idea.
The other stuff is fine. The Warhammer stuff looked amazing as well. To be fair, the Space Marine stuff. So yeah.
Concord is that's so weird though. I mean,
Concord's very strange.
I assume Concord's in the news, is it, James?
It's not. I didn't put it in the news because there's not really been any. I mean, obviously people have been covering the fact that nobody's playing it. It's got on Steam, it had less than 700 players.
I didn't realise it was out, and then the fact it's had less active players at some point in the last couple of days than Gollum was having. I mean, it's crazy. It's like it's been set out to die.
With Gollum, there was the sort of morbid fascination. I reckon probably most of those people playing it were all streaming it, right? Just to be like, haha, look at this. Whereas the Concord isn't. It's not shit by any means.
Yeah.
I said that when I spoke about it at the beta that I played. I mean, look, I don't want to big myself up, but I called this. I called this quite clearly. I said, look, it is a decent enough game. I really enjoyed what I played of it. I don't see how games like that take off anymore. I don't think people play them anymore.
And that's the problem because it just feels like that. You see, a lot of people have said, "Oh, it should have been free to play," but I don't think that would have made any difference,
Do
honestly.
you know?
No,
No, I don't.
no, it wouldn't have. They would have had more players, but it wouldn't have stuck. I mean,
Yeah.
if put it this way, if what was the? Wow, fucking, my mind's gone blank. What was the one that there's the Overwatch? If Overwatch 2 failed, then a clone of Overwatch is, and it's not a clone. That's a bit of a poor statement. But if a game that resembles Overwatch so much as this does, it's got no chance. It's got no chance.
Yeah, I mean,
because
almost all these games have no chance. I mean, like, obviously, Helldivers 2 came out, smashed it, and then maybe no one was really expecting that kind of
it
success.
was very different, though.
That's the thing, yeah.
I think the one thing you've got to do if you're going to launch a game that you want to take off in a big way like that is that you've got to have a visual representation that gets people interested from day one. And the one of the main reasons, in my opinion, that Helldivers worked the way it did is that we were getting videos where it looked like a fucking movie, where there was shit blowing up and there was massive explosions. There was funny clips of people getting blown up accidentally. There was the way that the aliens move in that and the way they sort of all gang up on you. It was incredible to look at, and that is what made people go, "Whoa, this looks mad. I need to play it." Whereas you take 10 minutes of Concord being played and you go, "This looks like Overwatch." And I'm done with Overwatch, and Overwatch 2 didn't work out, did it? So, I think it's sad because, as I said, the stuff that I played of it I thought was decent. So I'm not having a go at the game itself, but in this day and age, you need to create something that looks unique and feels different. And I think not on the same level, because it's going for a completely different audience. But you look at Plucky Squire. There's a reason why people are excited about that game, and that I'm pretty confident that game will do well, is because from the first trailer, everyone went, "Whoa, look at that! God, I got to give that a go." You don't get that from a game like Concord. You do not get that from the initial trailer. Well, you did, and then they showed you the game.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, initial trailer did look impressive, but I mean, obviously, I think people are massively fatigued with this stuff, and I know, PlayStation a couple of years ago, or maybe it was a report, maybe PlayStation confirmed it, but obviously, it was like 12 to 15 live service games. They bought Bungie, so okay, they're really going to lean into it. Then further reports come out over the year, over the months, saying actually they're probably not going to do as many. Now this has come out, and it's like, I know, like, it was the previous like chief who was like massively into all like live service stuff, and so maybe it's actually they got, well, I don't, maybe it's not fair to say got lucky, but Helldivers 2 massive surprise hit, but they're not all gonna be like that. That one caught fire, most others won't. As long as they're willing to place bets and understand that not everyone is going to work, then that's cool. But it's not looking great, is it?
I always thought this was a daft strategy anyway. Like the fact that you're going, like, with live service games, there's not that many that succeed. Yeah, that have like a long tail that loads of people will play for a long period.
I mean, even
of time.
Destiny, which is massive and does has a long tail, is like the studios struggled. It's like,
and then you're competing with all the other games which are already out there that people are already like wedded to, but then also you're creating more of them yourself, so you're effectively competing with yourself as well. I don't understand this strategy at all. Like
I can. Yeah, well, I mean, it's difficult because, as you say, most people are just playing, Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite, or like GTA Online. But I think the idea of like releasing multiple is that if you can control the back end of the top 10, like the top half taken with the games I've mentioned, but if they can control, positions 5 to 15 or 5 to 10 of the most played games, then that's the win. It's not about being the top, because it's going to take a lot to unseat a Fortnite, a Roblox, a Minecraft, a GTA. But if they go, actually, if we go like the 10th most played game or the 15th most played game, that is still great in terms of revenue. But yeah, I'm sure they have done the maths and say, well, most of these aren't going to work. But
I was going to
each
say,
one's a punt.
I think there's, like, what would be nice is if we could live in a world where they could be honest enough to be like, look, we're going to release 10 of these, 2 of them are going to stick. Right, and it's not even necessarily a quality issue. Like, you mentioned like luck, Matt, and I think we should acknowledge that is part of it. I think certainly with Concord we can look at mistakes that were made in terms of how they presented it. But yeah, there is an element of like you say, like, I was excited for Helldivers 2. I didn't think it was going to blow up the way it did. Like, I don't think anyone did, but you kind of just have to let teams do stuff like that, and it's like, oh shit, this is huge now. Like, there is an element of luck in it, I think. And I think it should be okay to acknowledge that, but obviously from a business perspective, obviously you can't.
Yeah, and also people's livelihoods. It's like,
I think there is luck. I think there is luck. I do think there is luck, but I don't think that's the overriding factor. I think the overriding factor is that you need to present something that looks exciting to play and unique. And Helldivers did exactly that. When we first started, when it first launched, and we started seeing clips of it, that's when myself and a load of people were going, "Whoa, holy shit, this looks like a film." That was it. That was what we heard everywhere, and that was what made that game what it was. And even that game is like had a lot of drop off. It's even as well as that did. It's
tough,
wild.
isn't it? Because like something like Helldivers 2, which is doing fine.
Yeah.
The fact that there is that natural drop off, people are reporting on it, and it makes it look so much worse than it is. Like,
I was doing. I mean, it's the biggest selling game of the year, Helldivers 2. It's it's absolutely smashed it. But
it's done great. But yeah, obviously you're going to get the stories. It's like, oh, it's dropped to like 10% of the players it had when it launched. It's like, yeah, of course it has. I don't know. To me, that's not that strange, but it's feels like a really negative headline.
Okay.
I mean, the next thing I wanted to talk about is Peter Molyneux.
Oh, is this the same news story? Are you moving on to a different news story?
No, this is the same news. This is still Gamescom.
Story,
yeah. So
that was
Peter Molyneux's back. He was brought on to the. Well,
question mark.
So he revealed a game called Masters of Albion, and I mean, I've got it later in the news. I mean, maybe I'll just go to that now because
I think we can. Yeah, that's part and parcel of the discussion we're about to have, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, what was quite funny with this is obviously people were like, well, he's still working at 22 Cans, and this game is Masters of Albion, which is Fable games are set in Albion, so is there an issue with this? So IGN talked with Peter Molyneux about this, about, could they use the same name? And then he said, it's like saying if you set a game in America, you can't set any other game in America. So Albion can't be copyrighted. It's the name for England and Wales, and that's how we get away with it. And then they asked him again.
I love the fact that he used the phrase getting away with it.
But then they asked him again if he was sure, and then he said, I don't know if I'm honest. I don't really know. I hope so. I mean, you would think that the responsible person I should be, I would have spent the last 6 months in lawyers' offices. But then he said he wasn't sure whether it was okay or not. But then he said that people would know that this was still actually is set in the Fable universe because of the same humour that's in the game.
This is it. It's like there's. Obviously, I take his point. Albion is a term, right?
Yeah.
Fun fact: when I first met Leon Cox and saw his Twitter name was Ratso Albion, I thought, oh, he must be a Fable fan.
Really?
But yeah, so he's right in saying that it's just a word that exists. There's no one to stop me using it. But he is clearly playing on the association with Fable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that legally, I don't know where that sits. But like, it's very disingenuous to be like, oh, it's just a word. It's just a general word. It doesn't mean anything. Like, it's
disingenuous to a point where you go, oh, is he doing the Pete Molyneux thing?
Still at it.
Is this
mean,
what's happening?
I mean, can we talk about the game?
I mean, the presentation was also like.
There's not much to talk about, is there?
I felt a bit sad watching it, honestly, because the reason I felt a bit sad was that he looked tired, and the game looked tired, and it looks. I don't know. It looked like it feels like things have moved on like quite significantly since he
hasn't.
Yes.
Because obviously he came out and he was giving it the big one about like, oh, I've gone back to my roots. Like, mobile was a stupid idea. Why was I doing that? He conveniently didn't mention his brief foray into NFTs, which this is basically a reskin of.
Yeah.
That in a sec. But as you say, it's cool to hear him say like, no, I'm going back to my roots. I'm going back to the stuff I was really good at. Right, cool. But then when we actually saw the game, didn't look like much of anything.
And what kind of game is
really.
it? Like I've saw a trailer and I'm watching it again
Yeah.
now. But
So it was like it was like it was the day and night cycle. By day it was like a town builder, and then at night there are monsters and you defend the town. So you build defenses and also you take direct control of units. But then I mean that looked rudimentary at best.
You made a sandwich. You could make a sandwich or
you
something.
could make a sandwich. Yeah, you could like craft items like by putting elements together, which again, so this is all reskinned from, was it Legacy, the NFT game he was making that he didn't really deliver on, went nowhere. Which, you know, it's in one sense is not new territory for Peter Molyneux, but by throwing NFTs into the mix, it's like, oh fucking hell, man, like just comes across as a proper grift, right? Like,
yeah, that's it. There's two sides to Peter Molyneux, isn't there? There's one that sees him as a legend and can accept his faults and still love him as a lovable rogue who says stuff about games that very rarely comes true and is clearly a salesman. And there's others that think he's a con man and he's stealing our money. Which side of the fence are you, Sean?
I'm sitting on the fence, aren't I?
Oh,
a little bit of both.
No, that's a parody.
I think there's an element of him is this genuine like over enthusiasm, can't stop himself from shutting up. Like he does enjoy like having these ideas and wants to talk about them, etc., without checking if they're actually feasible or not. But then there comes a point where that is dangerously irresponsible, and you're a grown adult and you're responsible for your own behavior. And you should be checking yourself for this stuff and working on
you're
it
right. Yeah.
30 years ago, not now. Do you know what I mean?
So that's what I think. So I think he's just run out of road now with all of this. Like it's like the things that he does and the things that he said were fine like 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, whatever. Whereas now I don't think you can really get away with that. It's like the whole the bedroom coder kind of thing and all that kind of stuff. It's long gone now, and I don't think you can do this. Sort of stuff anymore.
I don't think it's now that it's happened. I mean, I think the last time his last chance was Curiosity, the Cube.
What's in the Cube?
Yeah, he got lots of media coverage from that, and we all saw how that panned out. And we were in those Eurogamer chats or those Expo chats where he was talking about how each layer will have a different task, and it sounded so, and none of it was true. That was a few weeks before it launched.
And I still, Curiosity, what's inside the Cube?
Brilliant.
That
idea.
was a fun little event.
It was.
Place. But obviously, the prize turned out to be, I mean, it was a shit prize anyway, that then also didn't pan out. If you haven't followed any of this stuff, we should probably contextualize some of it, right? Because we're actually going back
for sure.
sort of 10, 15
years.
We are going
way back. Yeah.
So Peter Molyneux, famous game designer, came back and was like, right, I've got this new company and we're making this thing called Curiosity, What's Inside the Cube? And it was a phone app where there was this big cube and it was covered in pixels, and everyone would zoom into like a bit and you would tap away and you would get rid of the pixels, and it was like everyone was working on destroying this cube at the same time. And how long did it take? Was it like months? I think
it was months.
Felt like months.
And people would people would obviously take the opportunity to like draw funny shit. There's a lot of penises and stuff. Great, really, top shelf stuff. And the pitch was that whoever gets to the inside of this cube first will get this life-changing prize. And then it turned out that said prize was in his next game, Goddess, which was dreadful and unfinished. I think is the
it didn't work out, did it?
Basically, the winner was going to be like God in this God. Like, you were going to be in control of like everyone's version of Goddess, basically, and that just never worked. Never panned out. Right, the guy never got anything for winning. Inverted commas. What's inside the cube? So just none of it.
It's just, I mean, he's a PR machine, isn't he? And some of the stuff that comes, I'll never forget when he hired the guy that was trolling his game. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
That was weird. The guy with the vape, and he was just sitting in an office with him one day. Do you remember the video? Do you remember?
Was that Capone Adam?
He had like a vape with him, and it was on the table, and I was like, "Remove that!" While you, he said, "Oh yeah, he used to go on our forums, and he'd have a go at us and tell us where we're going wrong, and we said, right, I'll hire you. And you go, this is all publicity because the guy then lost his job like a month later, and they didn't tell anyone. It's all stuff like that.
But that's
that
what I
you
mean.
go,
This is why it feels like now
wild.
he's run out of road, like with all this, because everyone
Right.
knows all this stuff, and it's like he
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
on and does this, and it's like, it's.
I mean,
it's,
and let's also not forget, there's now plenty of accounts that he's a fucking nightmare to work with as well. So like
of course.
the nice kind, softly spoken man we see on stage is not at all what he's like behind closed doors, allegedly.
Yeah, so the reports have said that's 2012 Curiosity come out.
God,
Oh my word.
No, 6th of November 2012. Bloody hell.
So
Jesus.
I mean, all right, this game might turn out good. I hope it does. Like,
Yeah, that'd be a nice little redemption arc, but I just can't see it being likely.
no, but and just to James's point about him looking very tired and ill, like he's basically said as much in interviews, hasn't he? I think it was a Eurogamer interview where he's like, yeah, this is probably my last game. My lifestyle's appalling. It's like, yeah, probably get away from the video games and work on yourself, man. Like,
Right.
So that was Peter Molyneux, and it was funny because I mean it was kind of like that was the ender, for Jeff Keighley. Like he ended on that. I think he was expecting. I think he was
for about another
expecting
2 hours after that.
No, I think that was kind of like a big. That wasn't quite the end because there's also Mafia: The Old Country, which we'll come to in a second.
Look, I'm up for that, but yeah, go on.
But it was a kind of like I think he was expecting this to be a big boom,
holy shit moment,
like Molyneux's back, that kind of thing. But I don't think it really played out that way, like really. But that's the thing. But yeah, then the other thing, I mean, the final thing they had was Mafia: The Old Country, which is coming in 2025.
I will play that game. I wouldn't call myself a massive fan of the Mafia series. I only really like Mafia 2.
haven't they
Mafia
sort of varied in quality a bit?
Yeah, well, yeah. I didn't play 1. I thought 2 was really interesting as a video game. I think towards the end it sort of got a bit stale, but I thought some of the ideas in that game were really interesting.
Is 2 the one with the big time skip?
Yeah, well, it's like 10 years. He's in prison for 10 years. You play him in prison for a bit, and then you come back and see the map
the
10
cars are
years
different.
later. It's crazy. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much all they did was change the cars, but it was enough to make me go, "Oh, this is new." And Mafia 3 was a massive disappointment because it was so. I remember the initial trailer was stunning, and the opening mission to that game was incredible. And then you get about halfway through, and they go, "Oh, they're making me do all the side quest tasks to sort of pad it out a bit, and it doesn't need that." So I'm hoping this goes back to more about what Mafia 2 did. But yeah, no, I'm up for a bit of Mafia, and it was I suppose that's a good announcement because it's quite a popular series. So
Have you seen someone's just mentioned it in the chat, the definitive edition of the first game's on Game Pass?
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, it looks stunning, right? When that game come out, like they completely redone it. It looks incredible. So maybe I should download that and give that a go. But it's kind of a big week for open world games, so maybe maybe not. Maybe I won't have the time for it, but we'll see.
Yeah. The only other thing I thought was interesting from this was that we got a sequel to Journey to Savage Planet, and that's interesting because obviously that studio got bought by Google.
Yeah.
They were called Typhoon Studios, and then after kind of Google, they shut down the Stadia stuff, they reformed as Raccoon Logic, and then regained the rights to Savage Planet. So now there's going to be a sequel. Because me and you played a little bit.
Journey to Savage Planet 2?
It's called Revenge of the Savage Planet.
Oh, mate, I'm up for that. The first one was great.
Yeah, it's co-op, or 4 planets, all kind of stuff. I just think it's a good story.
Isn't the first one reappeared on Game Pass as well?
Oh, has it?
I'm
not sure.
Definitely play it if you haven't. Get a mate and play it together. It's got some really cool stuff in it.
Yeah, but I just think, given the story, the fact they got bought and then bought it all back and stuff, I think it's nice. So yeah, I'm excited to see what that's about. I'm not sure when they said it's coming out, but yeah, that sounds good.
I will. I'll play that game.
Did anyone see anything else that they were interested in at all from this? Because that was all. I had, really.
Only the Indiana Jones stuff, but I guess we're getting.
We'll come to that. Yeah.
I mean, Genshin Impact coming to Xbox, kind of a big deal. Not so fussed about Genshin Impact itself, but I've not put it in my list for this week. But I've been playing a bit of Zenless Zone Zero after Sarah recommended it last week, and it is very cool. So if that was on my telly, that'd be nice.
There's another Dark Pictures game, James. You must be happy about that.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
that's the thing. I've played all of those games, and it's like every single time that you see a trailer for those, it looks cool. Like it looks really. They do very good, like sort of promo work for it, but they're not very good games. Any of those Dark Pictures games, I've streamed them all. You can watch the streams. They're not
Watch
good.
James having a shit time.
Yeah, they're not good. And I mean, I will play this probably because I'm an idiot, but they're not very good. And so yeah, I'm skeptical as to whether it'll be.
And we got Monument Valley 3 announced, which
Yes.
is a surprise because mobile gaming just doesn't. I mean, we've discussed this loads. Where even is it these days? But it's like I mean, a sequel to a popular couple of games, so that's good.
Yeah, will undoubtedly be decent. Obviously, there was more Monster Hunter Wilds footage. Still excited. Not a huge amount to say about it though. I think that was kind of it for us, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think
there wasn't.
was-
I mean, there wasn't a huge amount. I mean, we will come on to the Xbox stuff shortly, but should we have a quick detour to Star Wars Outlaws?
Oh, why has anything happened?
Okay.
I mean, the reviews dropped today.
Was that
and-
today?
Yeah, we did a little stream watching the IGN review.
Yeah, if you want to watch us react live, it's on our YouTube channel right now. It's a good 40 minutes.
Yeah, that
of,
was an interesting stream. I was driving back from Margate, and I didn't think I was going to make it because I was caught in traffic. And Joe was going, "You've got to calm down. You've got to calm down. You're getting too stressed out about making this stream." But oh, mate, I can't imagine how you were feeling, guys. I was nervous myself, but I didn't have my body on the line. So we now have a fair indication about who's going to win the bet, right? It's not official yet, and it won't be official until 1 o'clock Monday, the whatever it is.
Yeah.
the first, 2nd of September. I
Is
think.
it the second? Monday 2nd? It is the 2nd, yeah. Monday 2nd we'll have an official answer, but holy shit, Matt, it's not looking good, is it?
No, I mean, as of right now, the PlayStation 5 version, which is what we're assessing, has 61 critic reviews, and currently it's sitting at a Metacritic of 77. I obviously need 86 and above to win. Not looking too good. Probably not going to make up the 9 points in a week. So, well done, James. Congratulations.
Put their review up yet.
No, I'm waiting for that 11
Well, there
to
you
come
go,
through.
that'll-
And GameSpot hasn't either.
No, that one is up there. It's up
Oh, is
there
it?
already.
What?
Well, the
Yeah,
God
they-
is Geek one. What did
Yeah,
he
yeah.
get?
What did they give it?
I think they gave it 8.5.
Okay.
Oh,
Fuck's
dear.
sake, lads. The one time I want an 11 out of 10. You pricks. Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
he's up there. Yeah, 85. Star Wars Outlaws has a well-written story and filled with exciting missions, solid gameplay, and some beautiful worlds to explore. All positive.
Anyway, yeah, GameSpot. If GameSpot give it 10, that might get up to 78. All to play for.
I mean, it is quite funny looking at the names of the people that are giving it over an 8. I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting it. We're gonna play it.
Yeah, I'm still gonna play it.
It's happening. I've got a bone to pick with James.
Yeah, go on.
You've announced that you've got a refund on it.
I did. I refunded it today.
I
Yeah.
think that's against the spirit of the bet, frankly.
Why?
Yeah, aren't you? Isn't
I
this
don't
part?
think it is.
Why? Why would I want to pay
Well,
full
yeah,
price
I know
for a
James is
mediocre
the
one
game?
that backed it.
I guess, James, for the podcast that pays you to talk about games and has a whole big arc about you and Matt in this game, I would suggest that actually that money from the Patreons should go towards you fucking playing the game that we've been talking about for a year and a half.
I think the
Well,
patrons would
completing the journey.
appreciate.
Call me
the fact-
old-fashioned.
But no, I
That's
think
what I
the
think.
patrons would appreciate that I could wait a couple of weeks and it'll be like 30 quid. And it'll
I
be
don't
much
think they
cheaper.
give a
He's
fuck.
trying to more wisely invest the Patreon's
Exactly.
money.
Yeah.
Into
Look,
what,
Sean,
another
you're
Sonic
not getting
game?
it, we know.
I would
I'm
have
sort
thought-
of going to let you
no,
off. I'm a
I
little
would have
bit
thought-
disappointed, but I'm sort of going to let you off. James, come on.
No, I would have thought the
70 quid's
patrons would
nothing
prefer me
you.
to. No, I would have thought the patrons prefer me to invest in quality, which this clearly
No,
isn't.
they
To
want
be
to hear
fair,
about your
James,
views on the Star Wars game that we've spent
Mate,
literally
if they
14
wanted-
months
if they
talking
wanted
about.
you to invest in quality, why haven't you got fucking mic set up properly? Like,
I have.
don't
And why are you
start
still buying
going down
Sonic
that road.
games?
Why do
I
you,
bought a
why do you
separate mic
most
for
weeks
this.
just talk about games that you say aren't that good, but you're going to finish them anyway?
James, you should be playing that. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think you should be playing this for when we all talk about it next week. To be honest with you, I think it's
Well, we're not
very
all going to be
disappointing.
talking about it. It's going to be you and Matt. Like, they're going to be talking.
Yeah, I know.
But it
Sean's
should be fucking you
either.
as well.
It should be you, James.
Sean's not
It
interested
should
either.
Be you.
No, yeah, but I never
Yeah, but Sean wasn't
interested.
involved in the bet. It doesn't.
Yeah, I
It's not
never-
exactly the same, is it?
Yeah, but Matt, I specifically bet that this wasn't going to be very good.
Yeah, but you're
It feels like you-
specifically on a podcast that pays you to talk about
the games. Yeah, it makes me sick, frankly. It makes me sick. Anyway,
He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit. Does he?
he doesn't give a
doesn't
fuck
give
about
a shit.
listeners. Anyone listening, he
same
doesn't
thing
care
as-
about you. And we
It's
know
pretty
he's the
clearly-
favourite, but he doesn't care about you. He doesn't feel the same way that you feel about him. That's all I'm
It's
saying.
pretty clear this is a mediocre game that isn't
Yes.
very good.
Well, 77 isn't
Right.
mediocre. That's actually a good
I mean,
score.
Yeah, and you do really like Star Wars, James.
I do, yeah.
Like even a mediocre Star Wars game is good, right?
well,
It's above
if you
average
like
for
Star
Star Wars. James, I think you're letting the listeners down.
Yeah.
I think you're letting yourself down, if anything.
Anyway, well done, James. I mean, obviously it's not official yet, but well done on winning the bet. That's really cool for you. Look forward to getting my tattoo. I am officially, I think, going to move it from my arse to my side, though. I hope that's okay.
Are you allowed to do that? Because didn't we agree the location?
Yeah, I'm going to
prior
move
to
it.
the bet?
But also,
I'm
I'm not
gonna
going to get a Wookiee anymore.
Okay,
I'm
fair
going to
enough.
get.
I mean, I can do what I want. It is my arse / side.
If James can say, "Oh fuck it, I'm not spending on the money I earn for the
Yeah.
show on something that we really need you to do for the show," then I guess you can move the tattoo slightly,
Yeah.
can't you?
So yeah, I'm putting it on my
mean-
side because it doesn't affect the perfect arse I've got currently. It is my money maker. I don't want to ruin anything there, and yeah, it's just there. And like, I think it's nice, pour it down, see a little Wookiee head done.
well, it won't be a
James, if
little
you just want to
Wookiee
save a few quid, can't you just subscribe to Ubisoft Plus or whatever it is for a
Yeah,
month and have a go?
pay you 15
Yeah.
quid.
You also
How
get
much
3
it
days
is?
early, I think. Don't you?
That's true. I mean, I might do that. That wouldn't be a terrible idea.
There you go. Compromise.
Yeah, but
guys.
all
Come
right,
on.
that's fine, Sean. But it's the idea. It's the idea that he went. I'm not doing that for the
Why
show.
do
Well,
I have
what
to
are
pay?
you doing for the show?
Why do I have
What
to
are
pay
you
70
doing?
quid for a terrible game?
Because
It's not a terrible game, James.
James, because you're on a podcast to talk about games, and this one in particular, you have like you've been involved with this since it was first shown off. It's the whole arc for the past year of the podcast, and you're like, nah, fuck it, I want to pocket that because
And
there
let's be
might
clear,
be
like,
another Sonic game.
It's outrageous.
And just because Outlaws hasn't cleared this completely arbitrary bar we've set for it,
I know.
the reviews are mostly positive.
well,
right?
Yeah.
come on. They're not mostly positive. If you
No,
look
they
at
are.
Generally favourable.
No, they literally
per-
are. I'm
generally
looking on Metacritic
favourable.
now.
Come on, if you look at why that's generally favourable, you look at all the established sites, what they've given it, and then you look at the ones that
Can
are.
I just say, right? Can I just say, it's not mostly positive, is what James says. 1 negative review, 12 mixed reviews, 48 positive reviews. I know.
Yeah, I know, but exactly.
call
But
that.
you've got to look at where those positive reviews are coming from.
Excuse
is all
me,
I'm saying.
digital chumps have given it 90,
Yeah.
James.
I'm sorry, James. Are you saying Game Spew aren't a legitimate journalism hub for gaming content? I think fun they are.
I'm not naming any names. I'm
Pocket
just saying,
Link!
I'm just
85.
saying they're less
Atomics?
established websites.
Hobby Consolas, James. Hobby Consolas. Come on.
VG247 gave it an 8.
Yeah.
You got a problem with
Game
Cog
Green.
Connected is a great establishment. I think you should take that back, James.
It's not better than Jedi Survivor though, is it? So
What about games.ch? They've reviewed it well too.
About every I.it.
Right, listen, James.
How
I think
about-
it's a disgrace? You're not playing it. That's my point that I wanted to make this week. It is a disgrace.
Yeah,
If
it's
it- it just
embarrassing.
shows the
You let everyone down.
Can I ask you one thing?
go on.
What are you going to spend that 70 quid on that you've just pocketed? What are you
I
going
don't
to?
know.
What's that little nice little earner? What are you going to
You
spend it
reinvest
on?
in that
Food
in
for
the
my
business, yeah?
children. There you go.
Oh,
Mate,
whatever.
feed your children.
Oh, come on.
Bullshit.
Don't take 7 holidays a year
Yeah.
if you're struggling for food for your children.
Maybe donate to charity, I reckon.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
man.
Maybe donate to Dave's charity.
Yeah,
Maybe-
maybe
or
sponsor
can you
me
use it
with
I've
to
my
already
wall.
donated to Dave's charity.
But it's
got
another
paid-
70 quid now doing nothing.
You got to pay for Matt's tattoo with it.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah, that'd be
good,
nice.
Sean. Yeah.
All right, I'll buy the
Sean's-
game.
No, we don't want you to buy the game now.
Oh, well, if we have to give it to charity, fuck
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we were all paying for your tattoo. That's a bit weird. That was a bit awkward. The subject come up this week about how are we actually paying for this tattoo?
Yeah, well, I thought about that a while ago. I was like, is this going to be like a £500 tattoo? Like, what's the
It's
deal?
awkward,
Like,
isn't
we
it?
haven't actually got a cost yet, have we? Like, I'm a bit
No, we
worried
haven't
about
got a price.
Because on the one hand, obviously Matt's the one that gets the tattoo, but maybe it's not necessarily the tattoo he would have chosen.
No, I can say 100% it is not the one I would have chosen. Yeah.
But then B, if this helps the Patreon numbers, we all
felt benefit. Do you know the thought? You know the thought I had, Sean, is getting pulled up by HMRC next year.
Not legitimate business expense.
Right, what is this? It's a tattoo parlor. Right now, listen. Have you played
Sit down.
Jedi Survivor?
Here's a YouTube video that
Wow, look. Here's
to go to
a
court
whole
just
thing.
play them that hour and a half
That
video.
hour and a half video, and then going, he shouldn't. Oh, that's why did
I would never have got 86. Anyway,
Okay.
So obviously still not confirmed, but it's looking likely, and I guess next is to find a date where we can get this old
we're gonna find a date
side of the ass
to sort
tattooed.
out the tattoo. We need to finalize the design. We will tweet that design. If you're a Patreon member and you go to the Patreon channel in Discord, you can see the early previews of the design. We will let you know what it looks like before he gets it, and then we're going to work on a video of Matt actually getting a tattoo. This is.
I think we could live stream it, couldn't we? Maybe as well.
We'll definitely stream a bit of it. Yeah.
How do you feel, Matt?
I feel better now than I did this morning. Well, about 10 to 1 today. I mean, I've been resigned to it for a long time, but the nerves were ramping up. I don't know why, because it was always a tall order. I've always wanted a tattoo. Honestly, to be perfectly 100% honest, right? Yes, it's been funny, but it's worth it for the content. Genuinely, I mean, yes, I lost, but it's like we'll talk about it for like 14 months. God knows when we get a tattoo. It probably end up like a year and a half of content. I love all that. So why not? Why not, eh?
Plus, if I can knock a video together, we don't have to do a Patreon thing for that month. So that's good.
Well, and also I was thinking we just record the bonus show in the tattoo place as well.
Bonus show there, live stream it. Yeah, lovely old job.
In fairness, James has to fly over for that just to look at your ass. That's
I've got to get a train, which is probably more expensive, guys. Eh?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's the payoff for that. Done.
James not even playing the game.
We'll know for certain next week, and I think it is exciting.
We already do. It would have been funnier if it was like closer. At
yes,
this point,
that would have been
maybe
so good.
It could nudge one way or the other, but no, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think it's never going to catch up with 9 points, is it? Go on.
Nah,
it's kind of unlikely. Yeah, but
all right, let's not rub it in, James. Move on.
Go on.
Okay. Next news story. I mean, we're kind of
James?
done.
What's going on there, buddy?
Well, I'll tell you what's going on.
Well, do you want a tattoo?
My daughter is coming home from seeing a friend, and she's just coming in the door, and Chen's just come down because nobody's opened the door for her, and it's making a load of noise. Is what's
Can
going
I
on.
ask you what? Do you want to pause for a bit? We could. Pause
Can we
for
just
a bit.
for a second?
Yeah. Of course.
Just
Go on mute and sort yourself out.
Okay. Can you all go away?
I mean, or put yourself on mute, maybe.
Put yourself on mute.
Put yourself on mute first, James.
To fuck off. Right,
Maybe put yourself on mute, James.
I'm going to take some paracetamol. I'll be back in a sec.
It's like he never mutes when he needs him to.
Cold.
What?
It was really cold outside.
I mean, why wouldn't he mutes when he's on the show, but not actually when he's off?
Sorry.
James,
Yeah.
did you know she was outside and you didn't answer the door?
Of course, I can't. We're right in the middle of this. I couldn't do
You
that.
can say, "Can we pause?"
Unbelievable.
That's you're an insane man.
Wouldn't have worked. Wouldn't have worked. I mean, Chen did it. So it's fine.
Yeah. How's everyone doing in the chat? We all right? I can still do these. I've hit one up for the first time in ages, and I went, "Oh, I wonder if I could still do them without having to remember everything." And I did. I was all proud of myself.
Asher is well into those. He can do them.
So good. Has he got one of the magnet ones?
Yes,
I want to
he
get
has.
a magnet one.
Yeah, he's got like a whole selection of them now. He's well into them.
Has he? Some of them are really expensive, aren't they? It's outrageous.
The worst thing is you like go to like the toy shop and like see it, and it's like, do you really need another one of these?
Yeah,
like,
I know. Yeah. Harry's a bit like that. There's one where it's like they're all like, what is that? What is that noise? Is that
So
you?
I was opening the fridge, which is
Does
right
the
behind me.
fridge make that noise?
Yeah.
I've got a speed cube. Yeah, I want a speed cube, but I'm not going to spend 25 quid on a Rubik's cube. That's a bit too rich for my liking. But I'm getting there. I'm still doing them. I'm waiting for that moment where someone goes, "Oh, never been able to do these things." Do you want that?" And I'll just go, "Give it to me. I'll sort it out. Don't you worry about that."
You got to do that and then throw it on the table. When it's sold,
Yeah.
'cause that's what they will do.
Yeah, I got that and then slap the slap the thing. I got really quick at them as well. I'm not nowhere near
Matt,
as quick as I used to.
Only just recognise that T-shirt that you're wearing.
Oh, did you not see it? He was wearing it
Yeah,
on the
no.
stream as well.
Yeah.
There you go. Look,
Well, it's gonna be my last outing, isn't it? So I figured XBD Neo races are getting back tomorrow.
It wasn't that spenny. Oh, okay. Dave Mill took one of our young players this week. Lad seems to be quite good. Oh my god, that guy! It's so funny. Have you seen the photo, Matt?
Yeah, I saw your socials, yeah.
Yeah.
And you put in a
the
WhatsApp groups.
Oh yeah, this guy. Look, can you imagine a professional? We've just signed a professional football player, and he looks like that. Like no offense
how
to
old
the
is
guy,
he?
obviously, but he just looks about 12. He's 18. Just looks about
right.
12. It looks like he could be my son. That's scary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently he's really good. I'm looking forward to that 12-year-old.
Oh,
Yeah, he's 18. Hello.
That sounds nice.
But just out of interest, who's going to see Oasis at Wembley next year in the chat? I want to see Sean get really pissed off at his audience.
I'm gonna get pissed off.
Yeah, you are.
Don't mind
Yeah,
people
you-
liking Oasis.
Oh god, I am beyond excited.
Look at his face, look. Right. Where were we?
Moving on to the next
you
story.
Talk about the Xbox, right?
Xbox.
Okay, shall I begin?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, let's go.
So that is pretty much the end of the Gamescom stuff, apart from, from opening night, because obviously there was more over the week. There was a lot of stuff came out. And one of the things that happened was that Phil Spencer had a chat again about what was going on with strategy and all that kind of stuff. Mostly because it was during Gamescom Opening Night Live that it was revealed that Indiana Jones is coming to PS5 as well, which has previously been set as being like an Xbox exclusive. It now isn't. I mean, the only thing is it's coming in. I think it's in is it February. Like the year
They
after?
said Q2
Yeah,
2025.
so it's a few months after. at
Yeah,
least.
so it's coming. It's coming a couple of months after. So Xbox On did it's like their in-house sort of thing. Did an interview with Phil Spencer, and they asked him about this decision to put it on PS5. I've got the whole thing here. He said obviously last spring we launched 4 games. 2 of them on the Switch, 4 of them on PlayStation, and we said we were going to learn. We said we'd watch. I think at Showcase, I might have said, from our learning, we're going to do more. What I see when I look is our franchises are getting stronger. Our Xbox console players are as high this year as they've ever been. I look at it and I say, okay, our player numbers are going up for the console platform. Our franchises are as strong as they've ever been, and we run a business. It's definitely true inside of Microsoft. The bar is high for us in terms of delivery. We have to give back to the company because we get a level of support from the company that's just amazing, what we're able to do. So this was the first statement that he made relating to it. The thing about Xbox console players being as high this year as they've ever been, do you reckon he's factoring in people that are playing Sea of Thieves on PlayStation?
No, I think it's like Xbox on PC and cloud and console. I think probably.
You reckon?
I think that's probably. Well, no, what's he say? Did he say console players or Xbox players?
He just says Xbox console
Xbox console hires.
Because if he's saying they're as high as this year as they've ever been, that doesn't sound very realistic, considering that they've been not selling very well at all. It's a weird statement to make.
Well, how many series consoles have sold compared to ones and compared to 360s?
I don't know off the top of my head, but there's have been all those reports though that they've been like down like 40% and things like that on like year on year. It's just a odd thing to say, but yeah, odd. Anyway, he then talked a bit more about what he believes to be the state of the industry in general, where he said, the last thing I'll probably say is that I think there's a lot of pressure on the industry. It's been growing for a long time, and now people are looking for ways to grow. I think us, as fans, as players of games, we just have to anticipate there's going to be more change, and how some of the traditional ways that games are built and distributed, that's going to change. That's going to change for all of us, but the end result has to be better games that more people can play. If we're not focused on that, I think we're focused on the wrong things. So for us at Xbox, health of our platform, and our growing games are the most important things. So basically, I think he's kind of indicating there that more games are probably going to come to other platforms. It was also revealed during this time that Towerborn, which was previously an Xbox exclusive game, is now being released as a time exclusive on Steam for PC instead, and will come to Xbox later, which is a bit odd.
Very weird.
But this is I found this quite interesting, like this whole thing. I mean, the thing I find interesting about it is that the way that he is conflating the problems that Xbox have got with saying that everybody has these problems, and I don't think that's true. Like in quite the same way, in the sense that it's true that obviously there's been layoffs like all over the place, but not everyone has spent 80 billion on Activision Blizzard and is now needing a return, and not everybody has also had their entire strategy focused on Game Pass, which has also reached the ceiling, it seems. So it's true that there are changes coming here, and it's true that PlayStation, for example, are releasing like games on PC, but PlayStation are not releasing games on Xbox, and because why would they?
Do you think we're far off from that? When you say why would they, I genuinely think that Helldivers 2 might come to Xbox.
I think that might, but I don't think we're going to see. I think we're going to see the same kind of strategy where you're going to see things that came out on PC like early, things like Helldivers and things like that. That sort of stuff may come to other platforms as well.
Stuff where they're relying on the live audience.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because
it's more likely to come to
Marathon,
Xbox.
the Bungie game, will come out on Xbox.
Yeah,
We've had
no way
MLB
we're
The
gonna
Show.
see-
We've had other PlayStation published titles on Xbox, but not their kind of Naughty Dogs. Not their.
There's no chance they're releasing Naughty Dog games and single player games on Xbox.
Whereas
you're right.
it seems very likely that we may see Gears and stuff like that appear on PlayStation. Like, I mean,
at this
to
point,
me, this really
sacred.
looks like they're transitioning into becoming like a third-party company. Like that seems to be what they're.
I think they can do both. I think they still have the consoles, but also all their games will also be on PS5. So there needs to be a compelling reason, and maybe Game Pass is that.
Having the consoles if they're not selling, Matt. That's the question.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Especially because I'm not saying like it's a bad idea to put Indiana Jones on PS5, but why announce it now? Like, would you not want to give like the Xbox audience a few months of like, this is our exclusive game, sod off PlayStation. I mean, if you care
not just
about
a few months, but they are releasing just before Christmas.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? At least hold that back until after Christmas in a hope that more people buy it.
Yeah, people might bought an
exactly.
Xbox.
So
Like Black Friday deals, and great, I want to get that because of Indiana Jones or whatever.
Yeah, whereas by announcing this now that's coming to PS5, it's like, if you were thinking of getting an Xbox at Christmas,
don't bother, mate.
I reckon they're under enormous pressure at the moment to demonstrate like growth and that sort of thing, and that's why they're doing this. This is why this is, and why they're also announcing these things so soon. But
how does this demonstrate growth? I mean, demonstrate growth is in like, look at the, I guess, like potential revenue that's going to come from releasing this game on PS5, but it's obviously going to massively dent any potential growth of it in Xbox.
But there is no growth in Xbox.
I think, I don't think there is a growth in Xbox at this point. I think they've seen the sales of consoles compared to PlayStation and thought, shit, well, we're not making our money that way. We need to start selling our games to a bigger audience. I think that's what it is. What's the point in releasing game after game on your own platform when it's not selling and it's not moving the needle?
And that does make sense. Audience. Like, when all they're going through all the acquisition stuff with Activision Blizzard King, and we're like, obviously keep Call of Duty on PlayStation 5 because they're going to be like losing hundreds of millions of dollars by keeping it Xbox exclusive. So that never made sense. And now, I don't think anything's sacred.
Wasn't it? Because everyone was always saying like, it's just leaving money on the table and all this kind of thing. But then it's like, now like people have clearly realised in Microsoft, it's like, well, we're leaving tons of money on the table by not releasing this stuff, like all of our stuff on other machines.
So like, is Is there any game that would never? I mean, is Halo maybe the only game that would never go to PS5? Or if Halo was big, then they would do that as well. Like
But then even that's, like you
Gears,
say, that's
Forza,
Well, when you were
Forza,
saying-
all that.
I think the tipping point would be if they released Forza Horizon on. You were talking about it last week as if it was, you know, a natural thing to do. I don't. I think that is the tipping point. That is the best game that Microsoft have released in the past 5 years, I would say. Like, it's the best. Yeah. It's a showcase of the hardware because it looks incredible. It plays brilliantly. It's fun to play. Everyone that plays it loves it. You know, I mean, which is a bit of a, you know, over exaggeration because I'm sure there are people out there that don't like it. But I would say that's probably their most successful game. And for them to release that on Sony's platform would then, to me, say, you know, if they release Halo Infinite, you go, okay, well, it's a failed Halo game. You know, it seemed, you know, I enjoyed it, but it didn't last that much. And the single player was a bit of a letdown. You know, it wasn't. It was okay. It wasn't brilliant. It wasn't a classic Halo game. And I'd go, okay. The only thing that would stop you in your tracks is that it's Halo, which is like their
it's like the mascot
name, right? But I think their biggest game, and one, if you were to ask me what game would they want to keep exclusive, I would have to say Forza Horizon, because I think it's probably their most popular game within the audience, you know, and to hand that over to Sony would be such a big eye opener that I would say that's it now.
But they could make so much money off that because it's like there's not even anything comparable really. I don't think on PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah, the Crew.
Yeah, it would sell loads, but then that's it. That's what I would say. That exclusivity doesn't mean anything to them anymore. Like that's the moment, I think.
Well, I think it's probably over now. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the direction it's going. It's just they're trying to figure out a way that they can do this without upsetting people too much, and that's why it's all so scattergun and weird, because they're you know, sort of very slowly walking their way through this to try and figure out how to remove themselves potentially from the console market. It's weird.
So we're already hearing rumors of the PlayStation Pro, PS5 Pro. Which is a whole other discussion, by the way. You know, but we have heard no rumors of a new powerful Xbox, have we?
Well, no. I mean, we have, because it's all got leaked, and then like Sarah Bond, I think it was, saying, we're already working on the next console. It's the most powerful hardware upgrade we've ever done.
No, you're right. Yeah,
will they still do that? Like, what is the reason to? I guess it just Game Pass is the only reason you might want to get an Xbox, really, or to not wait 6 months before the games come out. If you want Indiana Jones day and date, that's where you get an Xbox. That's where you get an Xbox. If you don't want to wait, then you get an Xbox. Okay. Otherwise, you wait. Sad.
All right.
I mean, the other thing that's come out of this is they've also now confirmed what the wait period will likely be for stuff that, you know, because you know the whole like day and date thing is now only for Game Pass Ultimate, and then people were like, okay, if I'm on Game Pass Standard, how long will it be until these games are added to the Game Pass Standard catalogue? And they didn't say for a long time, but now they have. And it said some games coming to Game Pass Ultimate will not be immediately available with Game Pass Standard and may be added to the library at a future date. This can be up to 12 months or more and will vary by title. So this is according to Megan Spur, who's the Xbox Game Pass community lead. And I mean, that's weird as well. Like, I mean, that's quite a long period of time. Like, you know, saying that something's going to be a year until it's. I mean, is this because they're still trying to push people harder toward Ultimate, or hoping that people are just going to buy things instead? I mean, that's also a strange strategy because they've been told. You know, Xbox to me feels like we've been sort of trained for like the last couple of years to not buy games anymore. You know, that the whole idea is like you buy all your stuff, you know, you just get Game Pass, then you get everything. And now they're kind of pivoting back to, actually, please, can you buy these things?
Yeah,
it's
because they got to make their money back.
Yeah.
Also, saying like some titles will not be available with Game Pass Standard and maybe added to the library at a future date can be up to 12 months or more and vary. Okay, so any time for anything then? Like, can be up to a year, can be more than a year, can be anything. So, okay, cool. That's clarified nothing.
I mean, I
don't think they know yet.
No, I don't think they do. And I think this is all just a totally live situation where we're going to be hearing a lot of weird things with this. It's going to be continuous changes, and yeah, it's very odd. But there you go. Next story is, so we've learned about Avowed now, which is an Xbox exclusive.
For now, am I right, guys?
At the moment, yeah. So Matt Hansen, the game's art director, has said that they're targeting 30 frames for this.
He also said bop.
This is
30
what-
frames. So yeah.
This is what he said. He said it's a first-person single-player
Don't
game.
laugh at that, Sean.
Sure, I got Sean. That's good.
It's a first-person single-player game. You don't necessarily need that 60 frames, and that allows us to get a lot juicier with VFX and lighting and
That's
all this other
bollocks.
stuff.
Hold on, what? That's shit, isn't it?
I mean, I believe the man, David. So you don't need it. So move on.
He said it's a
Okay.
trade-off we opted to make relatively early, and we're really happy with that. The game's running pretty smooth for how visually dense it is, and that was always our goal. So that's going to be that's a 30 FPS game that's coming
Okay,
out.
well,
It'll be 60 on
wait to
PS5.
I'll wait to see what it's like before judging it. But
I mean,
yeah,
there's
no,
been some
I'm-
more. There's a really good IGN video on it, where they showed off. It's a good sort of 25-30 minutes of gameplay. It looks really good. It's just the fact that basically they show like a dungeon in the game, right? But it's like there's actual daylight coming in, and there's all weird plants and glowing mushrooms and shit, and it just looks, when you compare to like Skyrim dungeons or whatever, that's just like all dingy and all the enemies are skeletons and all that shit. It's like, this does look quite refreshing. If that's what a dungeon in this game looks like, then good. And yeah, there was just some cool stuff, like you're arriving in this one dungeon for this one quest, and then you talk to this guy, and then it turns out the quest that you were doing then sort of leads into like another side quest and gets a bit complicated. It does look good. I am excited about it. 60 frames.
we'll
would
be
nice,
excited in 30 frames then.
Well, yeah. I'll be
Yeah.
half as excited as I would be in. 60.
Okay.
Okay, final story is that Nintendo is closing down Animal Crossing Pocket Camp as like a free-to-play semi-live service kind of game, I guess you'd call it. And this is coming on the 20th of November, and they're replacing it with a paid version. And they've not said what is going to happen to any of the in-app purchases or anything like that yet, but you won't need an internet connection to play the game anymore. And more is going to be revealed in October this year. I mean, the reason I put this in here is I
around
think,
this issue.
How do you mean?
well, I mean, the reason I
it's
put
like
this in the
shutting
news
down a
is I
service
thought,
that people have invested in financially.
Yeah.
And,
I think it
you
says
know,
you can transfer your save over to this premium version.
Right,
but whether or
right.
not
Yeah.
you, but yeah, like but if you've paid for loads of stuff in the normal version, you should just get the paid version, right? You would
Yeah.
oh
think.
god, yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah, but that's not going to happen, is it?
probably not.
I mean,
The
reason I
didn't
put this in
like it.
here-
I'd be more likely to pay for the premium version and then be able to just play it without
Yeah.
thinking about microtransactions.
Also, like, doesn't
that's-
require an internet connection, so it seems like a better app anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's what everyone always wanted from Nintendo games on mobile, but it never really happened
Well,
because they.
you say everyone, we're not everyone, are we?
No, that's true,
Unfortunately,
yeah.
Like this did do really well, didn't it? I mean, as we've said several times, it got way more support than the actual Animal Crossing game on the Switch, which sold
Yeah.
fucking 60 million units or whatever. So
But it is strange. I mean, this is odd because this is one of the last Nintendo games I think that are on mobile that's still running.
yeah.
Well,
don't
no, I mean,
think-
Fire Emblem Heroes.
There's that. What else is there running?
Some
at the
people are
moment
still playing that every day, aren't they, Matt?
Apparently, not. I wouldn't know. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, I don't know about the others. There was that one after. It was like Lost Dragalia,
Yeah,
Lost something.
that's gone now.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that gone?
yeah, it's gone. I mean, it's quite interesting because it just feels like Nintendo seem to be done now with mobile. They don't seem to be bothered anymore, and it feels like they did it.
I mean, they're
to
not
a-
because they've announced they're doing a paid version of Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, but
No,
they
but you know
certainly
what I mean,
changed their strategy. Yeah,
they're out of it in terms of like they don't seem to be interested in doing more free to play like games on mobile that are like new like new games. It seems, and it feels like that was a period of time they were trying to appease the shareholders by releasing mobile games. Now they don't have to, and they seem to be done with it.
They made a fair bit of money out of it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
Right.
Oh god,
Mario
yeah.
Kart
And like,
Tour did pretty well, and
Yeah.
And it is good that they're just doing a standalone paid version of this rather than going, well, shut off now, see you later. Like, yeah, there will still be a playable version of this. I'm broadly all right with that, I think.
Okay.
But that's it. I mean, that's pretty much all I've got for today.
thank
I mean,
God,
that was
because
about
we
2
are-
hours, so...
Yeah, I don't think we've ever started what you've been playing after 2 hours of podcasting, but here we are. Let's get to what you've been playing. And it looks like Sean and I have gone back in time, and Matt and James can't be bothered to add anything that they've.
I've had a busy week.
Well,
No, I'm not having a pot. No, I'm not having a pot. What I'm saying is that James has put. I finished this, but got nothing more to say about it. This is 1000X Resist, which actually sounded brilliant when you were talking about it last week. But
and it is brilliant. It's just, and I finished it. But the thing is there's really nothing more to say about it in terms of like gameplay mechanics or anything like that. And I can't talk about the story because it will wreck, like any, sort of involved.
Did it have a satisfying payoff by the end?
Yes, I think it did. It's I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was very good.
Matt, have you got anything to add?
No, I'm up to chapter 4 now, which is basically where James was last week. But no, I mean, there was some bits which annoyed me. I had to like navigate this, and like the huge hub world, James, like trying to find why the map is so shit, and trying to find anyway. But no, I'm enjoying the story. The rest is a bit, it
is a bit, like, sort of,
worth it for the story, I think. But the rest of it,
I'll quickly get mine out of the way because I've been back to Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And the reason why I've been back at that is because I fucking hate the way Nintendo do their games on Switch. It's so fucking frustrating because, look, I use my Switch mainly just to play Lumines Remastered, which I absolutely adore. And Joe described on our holiday as the most irritating game you play. And I totally get it because if you're not playing it, all you're hearing is, oh yeah, hey there, going down, hey there, going down, and you're like, what the fuck are you even doing, David? Like, what are these noises relating to? Honestly, the music in that game is frankly terrible, right? And also problematic in places. It's a China level. Here's the yin yangs coming down, and all the really sort of dodgy. Honestly, I play that game. I love it, but I also go, what?
Just allowed.
But the problem is, I bought that digitally, which means I can't play it on my Switch without it connecting to the internet. So I was like, it's a 2-hour flight. I can get one game of Lumines in because the games go on forever on that fucking thing. And it just wouldn't let me play it because the way it works, I've spoken about this on the show before. I've made the kids' Switch my primary Switch so they can play my library. My digital library, but the bad side of that is that my Switch has to be connected to the internet so it can check to make sure my other Switch isn't playing the same game. I would love it if Nintendo changed that for the new Switch. They won't. They just won't change it for them. We all know that they're not going to change it, because they value protecting, a few people getting a dodgy, extra cheeky little way around things.
But if they could just reduce the amount of checks I do, so it's not every time, maybe it's like once a week, once a month, like something that's not every. The amount of times I could do the same thing, I have to tether my phone to my Switch if I'm not at home. It's like bloody hell.
Yeah, it sucks, man. I hate it.
As I said, this is why I almost always end up buying cartridges because then we can share it. It's
but what's the what if you're playing it and then because I also have the problem when I am at home and I'm playing a game. So what was the game I bought digitally recently? I can't remember what it was, but the kids went.
Thank goodness you're here.
No, it was before then, and thankfully because I saw the swearing in. Thank goodness you're here, and thought maybe this isn't appropriate for Charlie. But we I can't remember what it was. I bought a game digitally on the Switch, and I'm playing it, and it just kept booting me off because the kids were playing it. And the moment they start playing it, it kicks you off on your Switch, and you're like, oh, fucking hell, really? So what do you do with a situation where you buy the cartridge and Ash is coming up and going, well, I want to play it now? Well, do you just say no?
No, just let him play it, innit? We play at different times of the day and things like that anyway, so it's
right.
It's generally okay.
So
I'm just trying to avoid saying, "Oh, I'll just buy 2 of them."
Yeah, James buys 2. Just admit it.
I have got 2 copies of Mario Kart because you want to play together as well.
Yeah, I was gonna buy 2 copies of that new Zelda game because
I
Just
did play
easy, innit?
Mario. I did play Mario Kart on the plane actually. Like I was in that initial trailer for the Switch, and it's really funny because I've seen lots of comments about Mario, and you talk about Mario last week, Mario Kart last week. What could they possibly do? I genuinely think they'll go down the Smash Brothers route for the next Mario Kart, because Mario Kart's always been a bit like sort of its own thing, right, within the Mario universe. And in the last few, they've started bringing other things outside of Mario Kart into Mario Kart, like a Zelda theme level, an Animal Crossing theme level. I think the next one is going to be, no, let's make this a Nintendo thing. It's not Mario Kart, it's a Nintendo Kart
Okay, yeah,
game.
yeah, that makes sense.
I think that's where they're going to go with it.
I was thinking, like, isn't it already Smash Brothers? It's got a million tracks, a million characters, but yeah, I mean, I guess if it's more meta, then that's maybe the way.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. You're going to like all the Smash Brothers, not as many as them. That would be ridiculous, but a lot of the Smash Brothers characters could be in Mario Kart and all that sort of stuff. But one thing that Harry said to me the other day is, I wish, they put all these new tracks in. I was like, yeah, why didn't they put any more battle tracks in? And I wanted to go, because it's only me and you that likes it, Harry. Like
we did get some feedback. I cut it for time.
Right.
Yeah, saying like, yeah, why they could just make battle mode good again, because it used to be good.
I used to love it.
Yeah, but I still like. I think Renegade Roundup, like the other battle modes, I don't think are very good. But Renegade Roundup is genuinely really good fun if you're not thinking that it's the most strategic game ever, because all you're doing is driving around and hopefully bumping into someone and capturing them or whatever. But me and the kids play that all the time. We fucking love it. So yeah, Harry was a little bit like, why can't they do more levels for this? And I'm like, because we're the only ones that play it, man. Wake up.
Isaac sometimes insists on it.
Yeah, oh, really?
Yeah, he likes it. So maybe it is.
Smash a bit of Renegade Roundup, man. Yeah, I don't like the balloon one. I don't think that works that well.
No.
But yeah, working as a team and trying to get each other, break each other out of jail and stuff, I think is a genuinely good game mode. But anyway, I was on the plane. We finished playing Mario Kart, and I thought, well, what other games? I opened up, like, Harry's got like a Pikachu box with like loads of games in it, and I was like, oh, I'll just put Zelda on for a bit. And I decided to go down to the depths and open up every single light route, which was harder than I thought. I think I did it. That's what I did the majority of my playing time over the past, couple of weeks. And I went above ground and did some stuff up there. I said all I had to say about that game back when I played it, but one thing that really drummed home for me, something that was, I thought, a bit of a misfire for Zelda, and we said it was a good thing at the time, but I genuinely, going back to it, I don't think it was. When you have a large open world game with a huge task, like 200 or whatever shrines it was, 150 shrines or whatever it was, don't put them behind, like, how do I put this? Do you know the stuff in Spider-Man where it's got, right, you've got to collect 100 backpacks now, and they're scattered all across the city. All you have to do is find the backpack and get it, and that's it, because it's a large task that takes a long time as it is. I really don't like it when they did objectives where you get there, you get to where it's supposed to be, but it's hidden under a cave and you've got to try and find the cave opening somewhere. Because I'm like, well, that's not fun. Like, that's not what Nintendo do. Like, it should be, there are 150 shrines. The shrines in themselves are interesting. Some are challenging, some are straightforward or whatever, but a lot of them have, like, cool puzzles or little battle arenas. That's all I need. I don't need an extra level of, you thought a shrine was here, but it's not really, so fucking find it now. And I'm
but
like,
then isn't in most of those, once you get in, you just get the reward straight away. So finding the shrine was the shrine.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was the puzzle.
Some of them, but I don't like that. Like, I don't want to walk. There's been so many, Sean, where I've gone to a hill and it's not there, and there's no. Sometimes you do that and it's like it's up in the sky, and then the ones in the sky where it's like, yep, this is the shrine, but go over there and get that from way over there and bring it over here.
Oh, I love the giant green crystal.
Yeah, hate them. Hate those
I
ones.
was fine with those. I thought they were good.
Sure, I fucking hated them. I don't need an extra level of shit on the collectible checklist stuff that I like doing, and they don't do that in the depths. There's only one that is kind of inaccessible, and that you have to do a bunch of stuff to access it, and that's the labyrinth at the top right of the map.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to do that stuff to get down through there, which is shit. I don't like doing that, but I think it's still an incredible game. Don't get me wrong, but it sort of really did confirm to me that I preferred the first one. And there was loads of stuff where I went above ground and was like, right, let's now start zooming into the map like I did with Breath of the Wild and try and find things that sort of blow my mind and go, shit, this was here the whole time and I never noticed it. I didn't find anything, and I was talking to characters and going, "You're not doing anything for me." And the weird thing was when I did unlock all the light routes in the depths, it went, "Here's a medal for doing it," and that was it. And I was like, "Oh, I'm supposed to get something really fucking cool for doing all this shit."
Yeah, and even just as you're exploring it, it's like you're finding these treasure chests, and it's like, here's the hat from Ocarina of Time. It's not very good.
Yeah, it will vastly reduce your resistance to everything, or like and obviously doing shrines at this point is stupid because it's like here's a free rated bow. I've got a 60 rated bow on me, so I'm new, thank you. But there were still brilliant moments. Like I had a battle with one of those those things that are all blocks. What they call it? It's like a magnetic field that brings all these boxes together, and it turns it. I like battles with that, and I had battles with big enemies, and I was like, "There's so much to love about this game that focusing on the negatives is not fair." But also, I'm constantly comparing it to one of the best video game experiences I've ever had. So, what do you think, James? I'm doing a joke there because James has been away for a couple of minutes. So he did that to Sean.
No, I think that Tears of the Kingdom is a very good game.
Okay, thanks for that. Sean, you've also gone back.
You can
in time.
adapt. It's fine.
Sean, that's a dig. Sean, you've gone back in time as well. I'm seeing Flower on your list.
Isaac, because I mentioned he really likes Sky, Children of the Light, the still most recent That Game Company game. I came down the other morning and I've explained before how like you go through the game, you gather all these resources, and then there's like a raid at the end, which is this like really sort of grueling. There's like platform challenges, there's enemies sort of looking around for you. And there's like this whole bit where you're trying to make your way through this environment, but there's all these like rocks are just like flying at you, and you have to. No, it's not. I don't like that bit of the game, but he'd started it. And I was like, right, we may as well see this through, because you do get to see the ending, which is really nice. And then the resources you've gathered, you sort of cash in to get this other currency that you then spend on cosmetic shit. Anyway, Isaac was like, oh, like, if you got any other games by the same people? And I was like, no, but let me have a look at cdkeys.com and got the Steam versions of Flower and Journey for like under $5 for both of them. So he finished Flower, because obviously it takes about an hour. And I kind of like loading it up. I was thinking like, I need to brace myself for this, because like it was a PS3 game, long time ago now. I remember it being stunning at the time, but who knows? It's still brilliant.
Really?
Like still properly like that first level. Where you just
that's the
setting off all the, like, getting all the, like, turning all the grass green, and then the big bit with the tree at the end, like, blossoming. It's still wonderful. Like, and it cost me about £1.20 or something. It's really delightful revisiting that. I still don't, I've moaned about this before. That Game Company seem to have this thing that, like, 4/5 into the game, there has to be like a miserable bit where you can take damage, and it's like, why? I've never appreciated those bits. So I had to like do that bit for Isaac, and I was like, I'll be all right, just give me a minute. I'll fly around these fucking pylons. It's just unpleasant. And
I think it was in that one. I think it was sort of valid because it was trying to prove a point, right? Like it was in keeping with the theme of the game.
Yeah, and obviously there's the catharsis afterwards where you can just start smashing through all the pylon stuff.
Yeah, so it was trying to make a point about pollution and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It was annoying though, and yeah, it wasn't necessary. I don't think, particularly. But
so we finished that. I loved it, and now we're on Journey. And again, we've got to the first bit where there's enemies, and he doesn't really want to play it. So then I'm just gonna have to do that bit for him, and then let him carry on with the rest.
Yeah,
but because he's happy to play games with enemies in, but it's just even he's like, well, this isn't what I'm playing this for.
This is not why I'm invested. What are you doing?
Exactly.
I'd love to sit Charlie down in front of these, but he's just on Fortnite now. That's it. And bad parent, right. But he was playing it this morning, and I overheard him say, "If you get a shotgun, give it to me because I'm OP with that." And I'm like, "You're 5, man. You're fucking 5." He keeps playing with Harry's friends, and he keeps them right. Ready up, and I have to go in there and talk to him about like you can't talk to people.
It's like launch it.
Shoot him, you idiot!
Ready up, guys. Go. Oh, I want that. Someone's saying, what does he mean? OP on point is what I believe he's saying there. Is that right? He's on point with it. Like he's brilliant with the shotgun. I think that's.
I mean, obviously OP is overpowered normally, but maybe
overpowered or original poster. But yeah.
Oh right, okay, all right. Maybe I'm. But I'm overpowered with it. Oh, I guess that still works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh well, you learn something new every day. I just didn't have the art. I didn't have it in me to ask what he meant.
What do you mean, boy?
What's that you're saying, boy? But yeah, I would love to see his reaction to Flower, but I know it would be, can I play Fortnite? What else have you been playing?
So I've been playing Arco. So I've only been playing the demo of this so far, but it's been a weird one, right? Because I was into it when I saw trailers and stuff, and it's been published by Panic, who've published loads of good stuff and seem to do relatively new indie publisher, but doing a great job by all accounts. However,
they're obviously really old, but they've always been just done like PC and Mac software, haven't they?
Yeah.
But they also published Thank Goodness You're Here, didn't they? So
they did. Yeah.
Had a couple of games out in recent times.
But so Arco came out like several weeks ago, and I had no idea. And apparently, it's like the reviews have been absolutely glowing. But apparently it's like absolutely tanked. Like the devs are like, we're pretty much getting less than minimum wage for this.
Come out on 15th of August, according to this.
Yeah. So I didn't realize it would come out, and then so basically, saw some noise about devs saying it's kind of flopped despite everything, and people saying like, no, look, it's fucking brilliant. There is a demo. It's like 2 hours long, and your save file carries over into the full game. I was like, well, I'd be rude not to check it out, right? So this is it's a turn-based strategy game, but you're just one guy, right? And it's the setting is, it's kind of a sort of a fictional America, right? And it's essentially it's a story about colonialism, right? And you being on the receiving end of that. Turns out not a lot of fun. Don't know if any of you are aware. It's quite horrific to begin with. I was really quite surprised. So it's sort of 11:30 at night, and I was like, oh, I'll give this demo a quick go, see what happens. An hour later, I was bawling my fucking eyes out. Like it's really it's well written and it earns it, but there's some horrible stuff happens like quite early on, there's between combat scenarios, you kind of traveling around the map, visiting towns and like locations and stuff, talking to people, buying stuff, taking quests and getting information and stuff. But then when you get into the fights, so you're just one guy, and I think there's other playable characters as the game goes on, but I'd say it's turn based, but it's really interesting the way it does it in that it's one of these where you set an action and then like a second of time sort of plays out in real time, and then it stops again. It's like, right, now choose what you do next, and it's telling you what the enemies are going to do. So there might be like a bunch of enemies with guns, and it'll tell you like, right, this one's reloading, this one's going to try and move, this one's going to shoot you, And then from that you have to kind of figure out, it's like, oh well, this guy near me is like this, so this guy who's going to shoot me is really close by, so I could slap him. That's one of the attacks you have, is literally give him a fucking backhand. And that doesn't do any damage, but it does interrupt their action, right? So you're constantly trying to manage, like, what shots, like if people are going to be shooting at me, what can I like dodge out of the way? What can I try and interrupt, or maybe just kill the person before they get the shot off? And then also you have like a bow and arrow. So as well as sort of being able to slap or stab people, you're also sort of figuring out when to find the opportunity to take a shot. It kind of, you know, like with, I always say with Super Hot, when people first see Super Hot, you're like, oh man, that must be so cool that like by the end of it, you'd end up with like a replay where you just sort of look like fucking Neo in the Matrix.
Yeah.
And the reality is you kind of go, left, right, right. Okay, now shoot. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of like, you'll spend several turns kind of like, right, this guy's going to shoot at me, so I better move here to sort of dodge that. Okay, now this person's shooting, I'm going to move here now. Now I'm going to move here. Okay, like I'm slowly working towards like getting the shot that you need. But it is really satisfying when you do it. And then so you're going through combat encounters, like say you know, leveling up, getting new skills and stuff that like just make it more and more interesting. It's fucking really good. It's really, really good. I'm like 100%. I'm going to buy it once the demo ends.
Can I ask one? Is it because I was reading the Eurogamer review before this, and they said there was like kind of bugs. It was like kind of like buggy. Is that the case?
I also
not really?
heard that it's been fine so far. Touch wood. I'm playing it on the Steam Deck. So it's on. It's on Steam and Switch, I believe. I've not run into any bugs yet. Maybe it's been patched. I don't know. But yeah, just the atmosphere. Like it's the atmosphere is just really interesting because it's, as I say, there's these sort of outside forces sort of arriving in your homeland and fucking shit up, but also when you're away from them, it's stunning. Like it's beautiful. Like the setting's absolutely gorgeous. It's all like pixel art, but it's really beautifully done. The soundtrack is superb. Again, sort of lots of sort of South American influences there. And like I say, the writing's fantastic, and it's got this guilt system, which is based. So as I say, you're traveling around, you're talking to people, making choices. It never tells you, like there isn't, it's not like a BioWare game where there's like a morality bar or whatever, but the game just explains to you, it's like as you make decisions, there'll be things your character doesn't feel good about, and there are situations where it's like all the options are bad, but some are maybe worse than others. Some may benefit you personally, but are maybe a bit callous or whatever. And it's like, and you'll feel guilty about those things. And the more guilt you have, when you're in combat, these like ghosts will start appearing, and they represent your guilt. But what's really interesting is while the game is turn-based, the ghosts move in real time. So you're sort of planning your next move, and these ghosts are all coming out. Like the actual enemies are staying still, but the ghosts are coming for you. So
Right.
it's just it's really fucking interesting. Definitely check it out. Like as I say, I'd heard the reviews were good, and I was playing the demo, and I was just like, I cannot believe this is apparently like tanked sales wise, because it's so far it's been absolutely stunning.
Just watching a trailer now on Steam, like it looks really satisfying, like curving your shots or whatever you can do.
You can sort of so like if you're running at someone who's trying to shoot you, you can do like a curved path, so you're still running at them, but you're sort of swinging around to the side, and then and then give them a kick.
And that feels as satisfying as it looks, does it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. As I say, it's sort of, especially like you mean situations where there's like 6 people all like gunning for you, and it's working out the sort of windows of opportunity to just get one arrow in one of them and then start thinning them out, and it's really, really good.
Nice.
Sounds good.
The only other one I was going to talk about is, I don't know if it's Dilemo. This has been on my phone for months. It was just one that was on because I have the fucking Google Play Pass for some reason. I think it's because it's a $5 a month, and it's quite good for like, I think I've mentioned before, like Isaac likes, like we'll play phone games together at bedtime, which great parenting, I know. And Play Pass is usually a good source of like relatively sort of relaxing games that we can play at bedtime. And then I realized, there's one Dilemo I've had installed for ages and never played it. It's really good. It's like it's a quiz game, but it's all like basically true or false questions. And there's a video games category, and it's really good fun. Partly because obviously it makes me feel smart because I know, well, so far I've known most of the answers, but the way it sort of trips you up is really fun. Like, so for example, like I got one of the questions that was like, it's the liquor a powerful enemy in Left 4 Dead? And I was like, yeah, it is. No, it fucking isn't. It's powerful enemy in Resident Evil. Yeah. But there's little things like that you sort of, even if you think you know everything, if you're rushing, like they will catch you out. Right. And it's just it's been. Like,
are you on a time limit with it? Have you got?
So there's a time limit per question, and then once you've done like 10 levels of these, you then unlock this like endless mode where there's leaderboards and stuff. And it's just really
awesome. It's on iOS as well.
Is it? Cool.
Yeah.
So
that's not as good then.
Is it?
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it.
It's on Android first, I imagine.
Okay, well that's what we've been playing this week. Let's do a few questions. We are really running long, so we won't do them all. If we don't read yours out, we do apologise.
I'll prioritise the short ones. If you want to send us a question, go to tcgs.co/dear TCGS. MD Krabuff says, what originally got you interested in computer games?
God, I can't
Flashy
even
screen.
remember.
Computers.
Sounds.
Sounds.
Our parents got the Commodore 64 when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And
same here. Yeah.
Straight away, I was just like, oh my God, this is it. This is
See, for me, and I think there's two layers, right? There's one when you first start playing video games, like most people do, and it's curiosity. It's, oh look, this is weird. I'm controlling. This is and then there's the next level where you go, no, this is my life's hobby now. Mm-hmm. And for me, that didn't really hit. Like, I played loads of video games, but I was never like, this is it, until I got my N64. And the way it made me feel, the games, the feeling when they booted up, the feeling of playing these games and being excited about games coming. Because, when I was playing in the Atari STE, I wasn't excited about what was around the corner. I wasn't like thinking, what's my next game going to be? Or, I was playing games because they were in the house. And, even like I got Game Gear, got the Game Boy and all that sort of stuff. I was into it, but I wasn't like, no, I'm going to read every sliver of media I can possibly get my hands on until the N64 come out. And I was like, this makes me feel ill of how just excited I am about what's going on at the moment. And so what originally got me interested in games is that it was oh my God, there's something on the telly that I'm controlling. That's cool. But I think there's another layer to it.
Yeah, I mean, similar issue. I mean, but we also got a Commodore 64, and that was great to play with my friends and stuff. But then I got a Master System 2, and then we're being really pumped to get that. And then basically at that point, that's when I started buying all the magazines like CVG and Mean Machine, Sega, and Sega Magazine, and eventually Saturn Magazine, Dreamcast Magazine, etc. And like, it was the magazines that got me so ridiculously pumped. Obviously, there was no internet. I would talk about games with my friends at school and whatnot, but it's like I was absolutely obsessed with magazines. The amount of spending, I mean, I had pocket money, but I was like buying, so many different magazines, and it was the rush of seeing like that new issue of the magazine you loved out, or like a day early before, like it might have said, back of the last magazine is out on the 12th. So like I would always like go to the newsagent on the 11th, like what if I see it a day early? I remember going to Borders and getting like, oh fuck, it's out like a day early, and I was like the genuine like adrenaline and rush I got from like reading every single word of these Mean Machine, Sega, CVG, all that kind of stuff. I just absolutely, oh god. And Games Master magazine, I guess back in the day, Nintendo official magazine, even though I didn't have a Nintendo console, I was still buying a magazine to like see all this stuff. And it's just, I was so obsessed. I think later on I thought, oh, maybe podcasts kind of took that, but it was never really the same in terms of the rush of, seeing that magazine you love. So it was probably, along with playing with my friends and having my own consoles, it's like the magazines just took it to another level, I think, for me.
Yeah, I totally agree. I spent so much money over the years on magazines. Like, this is the thing, right? I couldn't afford buying regular games, like, because I was mostly playing, like, Master System games, Mega Drive games, stuff like that. I had about 8, I think, usually, like, by the end of the console cycle or whatever. And probably one of the reasons for that is because I just bought loads of magazines instead, because it's like they were like £2 or whatever. A game was like 40 quid, and it was like that seemed impossible apart from like on a birthday or whatever. And so just used to just buy them and read about them, and it was just
like,
and also demo discs, demo
demo
CDs.
discs.
I mean,
later on, on PC,
there
was
on,
stuff like that.
C64 days, it was quite rare for us to actually buy a game because we every month we would just get like Commodore format or whatever, and it came with a bunch of demos or games or whatever. And it was like that was enough back then. It was
Oh,
a
man.
James, do you remember that?
So good.
Do you remember taking a game was coming out and you really wanted it, but you couldn't afford it, so you would like take some games into like your local trading second-hand place, and just I remember like the nerves of being on my bike and riding up to it, Stock Exchange in Stone Court Hill, if you're wondering, and just feeling ill driving on the way up there and just going,
like, is it going to be enough?
Please let this be enough.
Yeah.
Please let it be enough. And then like putting 3 games in front of them. And back then, well, in that shop, they had a folder and they would like flip through the pages, find the date, and then give you the trading price. And you'd just be like, fucking please just cover me for this new game. But, those so many memories of that, man. Fucking love that. Good times. I hope that answered your question adequately.
Oregon Ben says episode 255. Can we all get an update on Matt's special spoon? Also, does James still put curry powder on his roast dinner? Love you.
Not much of an update. Still got it. Still use it whenever I have cereal.
Cool.
And if I was in this flat and it's burning down, that'd be the thing I grab.
Fair enough.
Melt into your hand. Just like...
okay. Tea towel first.
Yeah, I mean, I still put curry powder on stuff because I like it.
Roast dinner.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
So all over it, I forget. So all over it, or just on the potatoes. What's the deal?
Usually with the meat, that's where it's got to go. You can mix it in.
That's
a bit.
mad to me.
I'm not denying that wouldn't taste nice, but it's not a roast
I
dinner. No, I reckon that probably tastes nice. But
on beef do you have gravy on
I was
yours?
going to say.
No, I don't like gravy.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You
I'm
don't
not really.
like
don't like gravy.
No, I'm sorry. I just don't
Say-
like gravy that much. I just like the food to be reasonably dry. And
Well,
I like
but
that.
with curry
Have
powder.
you
on.
had, like, do you have it
Yeah.
like I like that gravy as thick as possible. Like it is
yeah.
almost a jelly when I have
That
it.
is fine. If it's pretty thick, that's not too bad. I don't mind that. I don't hate gravy. It's just I don't like I don't like it when you see somebody just like just turn it into
brown
basically
water.
like cereal.
Yeah,
It's like and it's just like brown water,
Yeah, I hate
and
that.
it's just like a bowl of just like floating vegetables.
Yeah, I
or
don't
whatever.
like
It's
that.
gross.
Either,
I don't like that.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely.
It's
Gravy's
too much,
one
you
of the
know?
things that, like, making it yourself is fucking lovely, obviously, but I am quite happy with Bisto.
Yeah, I mean, if you make it yourself
yeah,
from
of course,
from the meat juices and stuff, it's never quite as thick as that stuff anyway. So I feel like you need to add a couple of granules in just to,
Yeah, but just
You
for
know.
the effort involved,
yeah.
it's fucking Bisto it, mate.
Okay.
Last one comes from a cheesy cheese grater. Says, "All right, lads, how's it going? I was
Fine.
talking to some friends the other day, and the topic of console startup splash screens came up, and we were discussing what our favourites were. Someone said the Dreamcast with the blue swirl, another said the GameCube, and another said the Xbox 360 because of the sound design. I was wondering what your favourites are."
Do you know what's called the GameCube one was great.
GameCube's
I
the
really
best.
like that one.
GameCube's
It
the
was
best.
a really
And you could be smart and be like, "Oh, hold the trigger down when you turn it on. It does a different noise." And then you go, "Yeah, that noise
Yeah,
is a bit
PlayStation
worse,
ones-
isn't it?'t And you go, "Yeah, it
Yeah,
is."
the PlayStation one, that's classic. Like the PS2 one, we hear like the, with the lights.
Oh yeah.
That was a great impression.
The
Yeah.
most outrageous
Clipping
one was
that
the
for
original
TikTok.
Xbox. The original Xbox reminded me of when you went to the cinema and it goes.
Yeah.
and you're going,
No, different.
no, not that bit. Not that bit, Matt. The bit where it just like goes up and up, and you're going, this is what it's like that bit in Funk Soul Brother. You know, that they cut down on the radio because it gives everyone like headaches. You're sitting there going, why have they done this? This is just horrible to listen to. This is awful. Yeah. That's what the original Xbox turned that also. Like.
The other thing that, like with the Xbox, I remember with like the splash screen for that. You know, like when it did the whole thing, with
the green
goo or whatever, and then as soon as somebody said it's flubber. You know, from like that Robin Williams film, and after I saw that, I couldn't not see that that's what it was.
Flubber was a weird film, wasn't it? I can't remember did the N64 even have one? It didn't, did it? You just turn it on and it went straight to the game.
Yeah.
Well, most of the Dreamcast the Dreamcast one's amazing, but of course the running joke is that you would never hear it because you just hear the VMU going.
I'll tell you what. I mean, somebody in the chat has talked about the Sega Master System one. Like it used to, it used to come on, and it was. But it sounded really depressing though. It sort of like went doo doo. It didn't sound like very exciting at all. Like that.
Game Boy Advance is a good one like that.
What's the Game Boy Advance one?
The
It's all right, but none of these none of them compared to GameCube, right? That is the best one. Boom. Love that shit.
Yeah, that's your time, really.
All right.
PS2 when you found out that the arrangement of all the blocks in the background was actually unique to every single console.
No, I think who cares?
I've
only got one console.
That was just the memory card.
Who gives a shit?
I thought that was just what was on the memory card.
Yeah, memory card blocks, wasn't it? Or
no, I thought it was each actual PlayStation.
Oh,
I think it was just the memory card blocks.
I think you two should have a bet, and whoever loses gets tattoo.
Yeah, unique tattoo of a series of blocks.
Yeah.
This would be embarrassing because you said that's what you liked about it, and it might not even be true, Sean.
Be true. Oh, no. So look it up now.
No, save it. I want the feedback. He categorically states that unique.
Okay, he's looking it up.
It's the memory card according
to you idiot,
You idiot, Sean, you fucking idiot.
HDR. Pringles.
Your shit.
Yeah, when the PS2 is loaded, the memory card inserted into each block in the boot up screen represents a save file for a game. But then that's weird, isn't it? Because you would have thought we would notice over time that it was getting more and more busy.
I didn't notice it at all.
Some of us did.
Yeah.
I think I'm still right. If you remove, one Twitter user, which let's face it, one Twitter uses all the verification we need. Pointed out, if you remove the memory card, the number of blocks will revert back to none.
Yeah. Okay. It's true. All right. There we go. Learn something new every day, don't we, Sean?
I don't learn anything.
Yeah, anyway. He refuses to learn that.
I already knew.
Yeah. I already knew that you get things wrong on a regular basis. Is that it for the letters?
Yeah, letters.
I do sometimes think it'd be fun to be like, let's have a rummage around the mailbag and just shake a bag around.
It would be good to get a PO box, but also costly, isn't it?
We need I need like a printer on the wall that every time someone uses a feedback form, it just starts.
Oh yeah, it comes out.
It drops down. You have to tear it.
No, but I mean, you can absolutely do that with like Internet of Things and like if this and that. You can absolutely do like if email sent to inbox print out.
Yeah.
This must be important.
But you're right. It would have to be a dot matrix printer.
Yeah. This must be important because the paper has dots on it on either side. Like it's got little hole punches on either side. It must be really. Right. Do you know? I have to think about how
that'd be so good if feedback came through during the pod. You're like, hang on, one last bit. You're cunt. Not this again.
When I started working at the place, this is actually quite depressing. When I started working at the place that I work at now, they were still doing fax. Can you believe that? I'm an old man.
I mean, the Premier League's still doing fax.
Where I work now, David, they're still using fax.
Really?
That's literally yes.
Speaking of which,
PO box would pay for itself, but it'd be a pain because we all live in different places.
Yeah.
I don't know Yeah, I don't know how we do that.
It's doing Germany. James will definitely collect it every day.
Yeah, he will.
James, you must be feeling really smug at the moment because I've heard loads of people talking about the Euros in Germany, and most of them are slagging off the trains in Germany. And you must be like, the truth is getting out there now.
That's exactly what I said. It's true.
Okay, that's it for the show this week. Socials, Matt, please.
Yes, we're on Twitch. We stream fairly regularly through the week, and this podcast is streamed live on Twitch. So go to twitch.tv/TCGSco or search TCGS in the app, and you can follow us. If you have Amazon Prime and Twitch account, connect them to, and you get something called Twitch Prime Gaming, where they give you one free subscription to give to any channel of your choosing. Why not go to our channel when we're streaming, or even if we're not streaming? Because we really appreciate everyone who does that. If you miss the streams live, you can go to YouTube, search TCGS, and you'll find us. Or I think it's /@TCGSco. Oh no, it's just /@TGS. Forget it, just search for us. No, I'm not. I'm just trying to remember all the various kind of names we've got. Yeah, anyway, search TCGS on YouTube. You'll see, all the lead up to the tattoo bet. You'll see the live stream of us watching the reviews, saying all the other stuff that we do during the week. The Patreon, if you want to support what we do, is patreon.com/TCGS to get exclusive monthly bonus podcasts, talks overs, be a All Else member, get access to the Patreon Discord channel. The lot is all over there. Just
better class of person.
Very much so, yeah. And the website is tcgs.co for links to our amazing Discord community, as just mentioned, our store, which is tcgs.co/store. Podcast, socials, you name it, it's all on there.
And that's it for this week's show. We'll be back next week with an official result of the tattoo bet, and also our opinions on Outlaws ourselves. It's going to be quite an interesting one.
I mean,
the games are coming thick and fast after that. The games
because
are coming
Astrobot is
thick and
Astrobot the week after.
Yep.
It is.
Oh, mama.
It's on its way. Yeah. It's going to be a busy
yes,
few
mate.
weeks in TCGS Towers. Thanks for living it, everyone. We will catch you next week for some more video game chit chat. Goodbye. Have a lovely week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.